Bam. Right there. The David Bowie kicking off Glam Week here on Bennington. And let me tell you something. David Bowie having 20,000 stray kids singing along with him in any arena in the 70s is way more impressive to me than gay marriage. I think when they got off, when gays got rid of their platforms and Bowie haircuts and started moving to the suburbs, I lost all interest. You know, the gay pride parade was in West Hollywood this weekend. And by the way, we are Bennington. Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington.
Hi.
Both big Bowie fans. And Magic Mike, if it's up on the Interrobang today. But Magic Mike is there. And he is putting on his Magic Mike act and dancing around for the gays, but he's wearing a big oversized t-shirt. And if I was a gay, I'd be a little upset about that.
Yeah, come on. That's not what this is for.
If someone said, hey, do you want to go see Jen Selter in a float? And she's wearing a Southern Belle dress, I'd be booing. I wouldn't be cheering. We're not getting the goods.
You got to fully commit to this. If
you win or out. Right. You got to bring on them abs. You got to show the V.
Mm-hmm.
Bring the V, Magic Mike. Man, what a weird fantasy that movie is, that somehow there's some male dancer who's big enough to tour.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about?
Yeah, I mean, they show them all on the bus and like, this is the last time Magic Mike is going to be single. But you're like, what? No one even knows the name of any titty dancers in the country. They're all made up names. These Magic Mike types. I don't know if they go out and play giant places. They're in every town.
Yeah, or at least if they do, it's not because they're big stars. It's like the event itself is probably the thing, not like he's the best in the business.
Have they ever been able to pull off the male version of Hooters for the ladies? Does that?
No.
I know they've tried a lot of times.
One just opened called Tallywhackers,
Right,
with the Texas area.
First of all, they ought to do just one fucking thing and call it Hooties. And there's just a big picture of Hootie at the front, but his legs are open and you got to walk in between to get there. You just have some beanbags hanging there. You got to jump up and slap them on the way in.
It's in Dallas.
Yeah. I don't know.
Looks fun.
They ought to just call it Twinks.
Go to Twinks tonight?
Yeah.
I'll have the Twink burger.
It seems like somebody should be able to figure it out. A place where gay men and women can really congregate.
You know, the fact of the matter is, like, the opposite of men is not women, though. You know what I mean? You can't just take something that men like. Like, there is no girls' football. You know what I mean? Like, there's no thing. And if you try to, like, why can't we come up with a version of football that women will go crazy for? No, there's just football. That's it. Some women like it.
Yeah, there's just going to be other things that don't involve football that women like. And there probably is not a man's version of it.
Well, right. It was like, if you say, like, oh, women, they like shopping. And men, they like drinking and doing bumps with their friends from high school. You know what I mean? Like, it's not exactly the opposite.
Two sides of a coin.
Yeah, it's just different things that people are into. This is the Bennington Show on a Monday. We're going to be making an announcement in just a little bit. But if you'd like to give us a call about anything, it's 866-766-0339, 866-766-0339. Your creative team has not come together with the perfect name for that yet.
Not yet,
Chris?
no. It's a work in progress.
Gotta figure that out.
Long progress.
Tired of saying these numbers.
Yeah, a number thing is not the way to go. It's like spelling out hashtag Bennington instead of just saying hashtag Bennington. Don said thank you to me for getting back to him because you never do, Chris.
Oh, all right. I gotta be on top of that.
I saw Chris Stanley attempt to walk into this building smoking today.
What?
Well, there's another entrance below us that not a lot of people hang out in.
So you walk into that part smoking a cigarette.
No one ever notices.
What? You are. How are you even attempting to get away with that?
Do you know what the fine is in New York City for that?
No, I don't know.
$500 million.
Do you have that?
Good luck getting it from me.
The weird thing is he does. He's like one of those old ladies that no one knows is incredibly rich.
Kind of old lady who just pays for a car with a suitcase full of money and cash.
that old lady. The one that I'm fucking following home with a candlestick. Stanley is rich with experience. That's all.
And then I could pay them in that if they want, if this fucking fine ever comes down.
Yeah, so then you'd be like, all right, here's another one for you. So me and these two buddies of mine, right? Fucking heading to the Jersey Shore. And we're fucking whacked before we even get through the tunnel.
How much does that take off the fine?
Every Stanley story about his friends starts with, we were so fucked up. Mm-hmm. And I'd just like to hear one where you guys were sober.
I don't have one of those.
All fucked up.
Yeah, we were all fucked up.
Having a couple of drinks.
Sometimes I wonder if it's a problem with you, you know?
Yeah.
Starting to come off that way.
Happens a lot.
You fell down 12 steps somehow.
Not surprising for me.
If you want, I'll get some people all to get together and we'll fucking just slam you with all the terrible shit that you've done over the years.
That doesn't
I'll
sound
be
fun
there.
at all.
Hey, Bill, in Ontario. Bill, we got you?
You got me?
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the air, Bill.
Season 2 of the Amy Schumer show, there was a scene where they had a restaurant for girls where all the guys wore tights. They were called McNutties, and they were huge nogs.
Oh, yeah, that was hysterical.
Yeah,
It was all about the nuts. Yeah.
I'd like to say that this year on iTunes, if you buy the Amy Schumer show, it's uncensored. So it's.
I had no idea this.
Damn.
That changes everything for me.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, it's really funny.
You know, there was a big Amy Schumer story over the weekend. It's up on the iBank today. So she's out at some fucking place, and her server is a college kid, and he's telling her how he's doing 2 jobs and all that. And then she, you know, when she signed her $49 check, she laid in $500,000 as a tip.
Wow.
That's fucking serious cash.
Yeah. And then later he had to come over to her hotel room and do all kinds of awful things. But here, you know, this is the upside of this. She's got a movie coming out. She's got a TV show.
Right.
She couldn't have a commercial this good, and she only spent $500 doing it.
Yeah.
It's a smart idea.
She's brilliant.
To pick it out, you know, every once in a while. And everyone's like, oh my God, she's throwing her money away. What would it cost to get this kind of press?
To get a bunch. No, it would cost tens of thousands of dollars to fucking get this.
Because now Amy Schumer's coming off like a classy lady and a baller ass bitch.
All right, you're right about that. She's got both going. You know, but the thing
That's
is,
priceless.
I know. No one ever brings this up and it doesn't make the paper, but you know what? I'm going to beat my own drum here today. All right? I'm going to smack my own back. I'm going to fucking give myself an award. I meet this fucking kid, and he's not doing so good. He's working in this bar/restaurant. I give him $500. And then I back my truck up, and he loads it with liquor and steaks.
See? Nice.
But no one wants to sit around and go, oh, look at Bennington. He's always so good to these people.
We need to work on your press.
Oh, by the way, sorry, the fucking check bounced, pal. That's your fucking fault. In the meantime, I drove that shit straight down to Philly. Moved it fast.
Top shelf was a top shelf.
Yeah, I still write checks for people. I don't have a problem with it.
That's how you do business.
Yeah. Why don't I give you $500? I need this for accounting purposes. I bet anyone young would be like, what is that?
Yeah, that would be bizarre. This is fake. This
You're writing
isn't
a
real.
number on a piece of paper. And, just
And my name. Both.
What the fuck are these numbers at the bottom? Looks like gibberish.
I want you to see something right here. This is $1 million, and I'm signing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You used to be able to just walk into a hotel, write something like that down, and walk out in this country.
Pay for your groceries like that.
Then later they'd be like, this fucking thing was worthless. You're fucking driving down around Miami, just happy as shit.
My checkbook is exclusively just rent. It's just my little rent checkbook.
I think everything I have now just goes off play. I haven't seen money forever. I don't see it from these people.
I know.
I don't know where it goes. I'm just not involved with my own money.
We're in a paperless world.
It makes it easy, though, too.
Well, what is this shit in front of me?
Well, paperless and, transactions
But what
with
I'm
money.
trying to say is this is why you're so behind the times. You're still sitting over there.
It's because he has fear of touchscreen, so he prefers
yeah.
paper.
He's got a fucking fear of everything, this prick.
What? Just touch screens.
On you. I don't know why all that happened.
Don't like Kindles either.
This is Charlie.
Ronnie B, real quick, just how old I am. You used to be able to cash a check in a hotel, but I called up about...
That's funny, right?
Yeah, you could cash a check in a hotel if you stay in there. But women's football is that fucking Bachelorette show. They talk strategy. They go home with that shit. That Bachelorette TV show, that's women's football.
I find it hard to believe that shit is still big because it is as rigged as wrestling.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I hear women talking about it on the subway when coming into
Well, what
work.
are they saying?
They're like, oh, I hope she takes this dude over that dude, or something to that effect. It's a bunch of women either trying to date one dude or a bunch of dudes trying to date one woman.
Whatever happened to speed dating? Did that fall off? Remember when that was a big deal for 5 minutes?
Well, I think Tinder did away with that
Okay.
and all those things. But speed
that's speed
dating,
fucking. That's different.
I had a friend who used to host a speed dating event, and it was like speed dating musical chairs. So like you had to move once the song was over to the next person.
Yeah, that's what they did. You only got like 3 minutes apiece.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do this thing called speed dating. It would be me and 3 tweaker chicks and a fucking big pile of meth.
Nice.
And then we would just sit there and chew on the insides of our mouth and fucking start and talk about aliens and shit and shadow governments.
That's probably where it came from.
Yeah, that's where it came from. I thought that was fine. And then every once in a while, somebody would go like this, shh, what was that? Fuck, shut up, shh, shh. I heard a fucking twig snap. We're not squirrels. We're fucking, they're outside. We're adult. Yeah, they're always outside. Fuck, somebody's outside.
Is that Shadow?
Yes, they're outside. We live in New York City. And people walk around outside.
No, but they're outside.
Who's in that car? I don't know. Citizens driving by?
They're coming.
Why seriously, why are cops going to just sit around and worry about fucking 4 people snorting fucking meth in a fucking house, an abandoned house?
That's all they care about.
We've got it's not even a meth ring. You know what I mean?
People just using it.
Yeah, that's it. It'll be gone soon. Stay out of this, officer. We're making sure it's being destroyed.
We're taking it off the streets. Into ourselves.
This surprised me because I remember, Chris, you were obsessed with her for a while, and that's when she broke out on Sports Illustrated, and it was Kate Upton. And according to this, Kate Upton just turned 23 years old.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she's 23 years old.
Hasn't she been around for 10 years?
She's been around since she was 18, so it feels like 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, she's still a baby. I would not have guessed that she's only 23, but I guess...
Yeah, that she's
young.
a baby when she tried to do movies. And it just was like, she basically was like talking like the little kids on Full House. You know what I mean?
She is a sexy baby, though.
She's a sexy, beautiful, curvy baby, but they should have radio silence that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard her talk was like a behind the scenes Sports Illustrated photo shoot. And I was like, "Dad."
She's Pebbles Flintstone. Oh, that's pretty good. He should be a voiceover fucking actor in the 1960s.
I'd have done real well for myself.
All right, let me hear it again. We're here with Kate Upton. Kate, you've got a brand new Sports Illustrated. And then we were understand that you were twerking for a little bit. So sad. They're doing the same thing with the new Sports Illustrated girl when they give her a commercial and she's so stiff.
Oh, the horse?
Yeah, she's
Jeter's
the girl with
girlfriend.
the beautiful eyes.
Yeah.
You know? And she shouldn't be selling anything. She should just stand there and keep the fantasy alive.
Hannah Davis. That's that girl.
Hannah Davis.
Hannah.
The producer who produces results.
But she's starting to take some of Kate Upton's heat because she's dating Jeter, and now she's like on this DirecTV thing. And I think she was on the cover last year of a Sports Illustrated. So she's getting a lot of heat.
She's working as well. I mean, what is this, fucking Highlander? There can only be one beautiful woman in the country?
There can only be one It Girl. Now, my choice for It Girl, though, I thought was going to take over Kate Upton, Emily Ratajkowski. That fucking failed miserably.
First of all, calm down. No one ever brought up It Girls. That's you. Do we use the term It Girl, or did that leave with Twiggy?
I think, I don't know if we call them It Girl anymore.
But it is there is, we were talking about this before, like with the song of the summer, where you need that big pop song for everybody to just know. There has to be a girl, right, that is, the it girl for that time.
Yeah.
So years from now, when someone looks back at the teens, they'll be able to say, it's Kate Upton or Hannah Han, the producer who produces Results.
And preferably this It Girl is somebody who is exclusively, just a sex symbol. They're a model. I feel like it can't be, movie star who also happens to be very attractive.
Well, what about like a Marilyn Monroe, where you go from being the model into the movie star?
Yeah.
She was the It Girl.
She was.
Farrah Fawcett Majors, I believe. Now, you will look back. All right, now go to the Farrah Fawcett Majors poster from the 1970s. And it's a stunning picture when you look back on it, because she looks like an attractive California girl.
Mm-hmm.
But that's certainly, it's a one piece. The hair's all over the place. The body is not toned, you know what I mean? Like, it literally does, it's of that time. She would not necessarily be the it girl 5 years before or 5 years after.
Yeah, well, it's kind of strange to think that everyone's taste kind of ends up, we all end up liking the same things, and you can tell that by, there were certain types from each decade, or even
all right,
from
well, give me some examples of that.
Well, I feel like if you look at what a sex symbol looked like in ancient Greece based on what we know of, like...
All we know is the pictures off the pottery.
Right, exactly. But they were kind of bizarre looking. The statues were a little... Look,
those ancient Romans in ancient Greece, they all look like Joe DiMaggio to me. You know what I mean? There was like a Rocky Marciano look about those women. I don't know why that was what the dudes were into.
They were into... It was like
sports
kind of
stars, I guess.
A masculine jawline.
Yeah.
But then voluptuous, like big-bodied.
And hit for 56 straight ball games, which is amazing.
That's the hottest part.
But, yeah, it is true that Farrah Fawcett, while, of course, a very pretty girl, she would not have stopped traffic in other decades.
Right.
She probably would have been considered too thin in the 1950s.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it was actually probably Twiggy who started that being skinny is sexy thing, because for a very long time, the idea of being voluptuous came from you were rich and well fed and well, taken care of.
She was the first starving. First of all, she's haunting, but in a Bowie way. You know what I mean? She was like the first Bowie. But I don't think she was as sexy as Edie Sedgwick. I think Edie Sedgwick was sexier, but I think Twiggy was way more famous, right?
Yeah, and she was, she was the more, in a weird way, photogenic one, I think. She had the long neck. She was like a pretty giraffe or something.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, Edie was, I think, probably had more sex appeal.
Sure. It was said about Edie Sedgwick it's like banging a baby deer, and
which we all want to do.
Who doesn't want to?
I mean, come on.
Who doesn't want to? I think that's half the reason guys go hunting.
Just in case they have a shot.
So I don't know why things work, but it's almost like the mullet haircut. Like no one ever walked around in the late 80s going, why are we doing this with our hair?
Right.
Or the duck's ass from no one thought it was odd. They just started doing it.
And with the mullet, it's like clearly not only were guys finding it acceptable, but women were like, he's got great hair. Like this was obviously something that was coveted.
Yes.
And it only looks bizarre now.
Most
retrospect.
time with the haircut, your chick talks you into the haircut.
Right.
Like, why don't you get a mullet, honey? You're going to look good.
I'm like, so sexy. I don't know. But maybe the 50s was the one that was like the most solid time. I think like that was a good era of beauties.
The 50s?
Yeah.
Over all others? Who was the it girl of the 1950s?
Well, I think you've got Marilyn Monroe, right?
Yeah, it's a slam dunk.
And you've got
Was Sophia Loren part of that, or was she come later?
no, she is. You've got Betty Page.
I'm gonna go to the 60s, and I still think Bridget Bardot is probably the most attractive woman in the world to this day when she peaked out. And I'd also throw an Anne Margrock in there.
Oh, adore her.
But look at Bridget Bardot.
Jesus.
If I saw Bridget Bardot looking like that in real life, I'd turn around and run like there was a fucking albino lion that just showed up somewhere.
What is that?
Oh, get away! It's beauty! It's drawing us in! It's killing us!
Yeah, she had everything. She had the great hair. She had the great lips.
Now she's like
great
the crazy
body.
old cat lady. She just fucking has a house with 800 cats in it. Every once in a while, she goes out the window and pops off a couple shots at a mailman. Get the vey! I don't know why I made her sound German. She's French. I was going for French. But I don't know. This map is fucked up. Could you imagine, like, if there was a fucking Tinder and you just showed up with a Bridget Bardot meeting or somewhere?
Just out for a nice lunch date.
You might have to say, I'm not up for this, Bridget. I can tell you right now. I was expecting someone that I would dominate.
I didn't think your pictures were real.
Yeah.
This is all funny. I thought I was getting catfished, honestly.
Yeah, I was ready to just fucking meet a dude and just start yelling at him.
How am I not being catfished right now?
Is this a reverse catfish? How is this Am
I the catfish? Did I catfish you?
Am I lying to you right now?
Are you mocking me? Are you taking me to a dog party where other ugly people are? And all you attractive people laugh at me?
That's it. I'm out.
Here's Billy in Oklahoma.
2 words for beauty boy. Raquel Welch. 60s, 70s, today. Beautiful.
She was,
the
and she
epitome of womanhood.
And also just a terrible actor. I mean, just a terrible actor. Quite masculine interacting. Like her best line that she's known for is, "What's up, man? This is beautiful, dude."
Oh, can we get that again,
bro? Who's the early 1980s body heat?
Yeah, can't think of her name.
We'll have it in seconds.
Kathleen Turner.
Yes.
Kathleen Turner in 1982.
Also a very low talker.
Yeah.
Sexy, sultry man voice.
Yeah. Now she sells fish out of the Bronx, but she's got to think she's just bringing in big fucking tuna today, everybody. But
thanks, Kathleen.
Yeah. She's great. I mean, in that movie, she's fucking ridiculously beautiful. She's so beautiful, they had to turn her into a beautiful cartoon after that. They didn't know what to do with her.
God, a lot of these sex symbols, it's like 90% great hair.
You're probably right about it.
Look, she's like a lion's mane.
Yeah, she is. She was just sitting there licking her paws and fucking William Hurt was just fucking killing people one after another. That's such a great movie.
She's a classic beauty too, because she could have been in the 50s, 40s.
Yeah, she was a throwback.
Yeah,
throwback. It's like an old fucking jersey from the Negro League. That's what people. That's how I would describe her. She was like a Kansas City Monarchs jersey. Fantastic.
And who is the actress that when she met her, she was just like, "I'm the new you" or something?
No, I never heard that story. I love when women say shit like that.
I wish I could remember who it is, but it's another older sex symbol, and they're similar looking. Who did she look like? I can't think. But she
said it to the person?
She said it to them.
I'm going to guess like Frank Sinatra's wife, I bet.
Oh, no.
The one that was... Oh, what you're saying no.
I don't think so. I wish I could remember.
That's confident to say something.
Yeah,
like that,
and
right?
she was pretty pissed. She's like, "Hi, I'm the new you."
That's the kind of shit that Will Smith's kids say to people.
I'm the new you, but better.
Lauren Bacall is who I was thinking of.
Yeah. It was Lauren Bacall.
Now,
I
you go
think.
back and watch the Lauren Bacall, and this is fucking crazy. So she's with Bogart, with that, she was with Bogart
Right.
and then Sinatra. She was like 19 years old in these fucking movies. And she's a woman. She's a mature woman. She's not selling herself as a kitty cat, right?
Right.
There's a lot of masculinity to Lauren Bacall.
Yeah, look at they're very similar looking. They have very similar eyes.
Here's Mary, Connecticut.
Hi, I say the young Linda Evans.
Well, here's the weird deal. The young Linda Evans, and you have to go back before you're dealing in 1980s Linda Evans. You went 1960s Linda Evans.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
she was with John Evans, who was with Linda Evans, Bo Derek,
Yeah,
and a Swedish woman. I can't remember right now. But if you lined pictures of them all up at like 20, they looked exactly the same.
Really?
And he would he was like a dude that would always go back and buy the same car. You know what I mean? But he had to have it new.
Yeah.
And when Bo Derek was in the movie 10, when that movie came out, the earth started to crack. There were earthquakes in California that spread through the center of the country and all the way up to New York City. Buildings were falling down.
Oh my
and that's
God.
because people were not ready for her crazy beauty.
Yeah.
But if you look
And
back
they're
at it
really-
now, you're not feeling it the same way.
Right.
You're like, oh, she's a little pudgy and her hair is weird.
And I think they're timeless. They were timeless beauties. There's certain beauties I think that are timeless.
I don't know, because you're looking now, and I guarantee you it doesn't have the same effect
Yeah.
as it did. It probably, like, if you were like in a time machine and you went back and you're in the old fucking, and you're watching Bob Cousy play fucking basketball, you're like, what? This fucking slow, non-jumping motherfucker?
a
You know
joke.
what I mean? Like, yeah. You're like, there's a million guys better than him. But at that time, he was the dude. And people couldn't believe it when they saw it, But it doesn't, life does move on somehow. I don't know if it's always timeless.
But it's strange that we all tend to agree. Like, I don't think anyone is saying, "Oh, that Kate Upton is not attractive." You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a
Right.
general consensus that we're all like, "Yeah, this is attractive to
But
us."
see,
right now.
here's the thing. You could take a hit song in 1967, it wouldn't be a hit song today.
Right.
Right? But even the people today will fucking sing along with it, right?
Yeah.
I think the same thing is, like, you're willing to say, oh, that was a great song. But if it came out today, you wouldn't call it a great song. You know what I mean? The same with, like, if the Beverly Hillbillies came on TV, right? No one would give a fuck. But there were like 50 million people are like, I can't wait for the Beverly Hillbillies.
Every week,
thing.
right?
This fucking Jethro's insane, But I don't know if that works outside. If it came on today, anyone would even slightly care.
Well, I also notice, like, if you tend to look at the sex symbols of just like a generation before you,
Yeah.
I tend to look at them and just be like, yeah, they're attractive, but they look like, like they look older. Like,
Right.
when I look at that picture of Farrah Fawcett, to me, she looks like older than someone like
Right.
Kate
She was
Upton,
probably
right.
like 24 when that picture was taken.
But for some reason, she reads as much older, and maybe that's just my own association with like what beauty was like when I was just born or just off of my generation.
And she was, like that thing, There's always those girls, Michelle Phillips from the Mamas and Papas, Peggy Lipton from the late 60s, that fucking people just say, this looks like what is the perfect thing for right now.
Yeah.
But it's almost like sometimes if you look back at, clothes people were wearing, at the time they were incredibly hip.
Yeah.
But now you're like, well, what was that, a costume people had on? Was there a reason that someone had a neck chip on when they went out,
Where they buy those things?
And like if you go back and watch, there's like fucking neckerchief things.
Yes.
You'll turn on like there was like a Johnny Carson thing, and he had them all. You know what I mean? Like, he's not. What, you're like, even Johnny Carson fell for this craziness?
Yeah. No one said, hey, this is kind of weird.
No,
strangely effeminate.
The shit at the time, apparently.
Yeah, when you can make it all the way up to where middle-aged men are going to do it. I mean, all you got to do is, why are guys picking ties that are thick and thin depending on the era? Why wouldn't a guy go, what do I fucking care? But, there was a time that if you wore a thin tie, people would laugh at you. And then you look at those thick ties and you're like, what? Do you have a bib on?
That looks crazy. Well, suits especially are funny because it seems like they should just be like, okay, a suit should just look like this. But if you look at suits from like the early 60s, right? Where that kind of came back, that look of, I think Mad Men probably were like, oh, that's classy. But the suits of the 70s, it's crazy to me.
Oh, they're awesome.
It's crazy to me that everyone agreed on this. Like, not only, it's not like just young people were wearing. This was a style that like people's dads and uncles were wearing.
There was a thing that the suits of that time had everything but fucking clown makeup. You know what I mean? And you can watch, and MeTV runs a lot of the 70s shows, and just fucking get high and watch them. And you'll crack up. You'll see guys wearing these crazy plaid things. And then they get into these giant boat cars. Just a giant cars that like fucking 12 people could be sitting in the front seat. And you're just like, everything was so nuts.
If you see one of those in real life today on the street, it's taking up like 2.5 fucking spots.
Yeah, and if you see pictures from the 70s in New York, it's just muscle cars everywhere.
It's all they ever bought.
They're parking like 3 cars on every block on Avenue B. That's all they could fit. Here's Tim, Lake Tahoe.
What's up, Bangtons?
Hey, man.
So I was thinking Anne Margaret.
Yes.
Sure, perfect.
Verdi. Stunning.
That video by Verdi song.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
She was super young, too, right? Wasn't she?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but she also, like, she was born in Sweden, so she came in with that, then she was a song and dance girl. But it was really funny. Look at her natural beauty in Bye Bye Birdie. Yeah. Now put up anything to put her name, and we'll see if we can't put it next to each other, and be like Viva Las Vegas with Elvis. Because
her bus line is ridiculous in that.
Because Elvis, he came up with the great idea of trying to make her look exactly like Elvis.
Right.
Like he would do with most women. She just became like girl Elvis next to him.
And she had like a sweet quality to her, like a real kind of wholesome thing.
Yeah, but she's also, you know what I mean? She
knows.
Yeah.
She ain't too good, you know what I mean?
I mean, she was, what was the thing with her and Jack Nicholson, that late 60s movie, Cardinal Knowledge. She was bad. She was a bad girl.
Now look at her waistline there. Like back when like there was like softness, if the belly was sexy, not like tight and hard. It was like, oh, she looks so cushy.
Right. There was no sit-ups in her life. Yeah. There was no like, oh, we need girls that have a 15-year-old boy belly before we're even turned on. Dave in Ohio.
Yeah. How about Jane Fonda? Or
Jane Fonda, unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
Unbelievable. Barbarella, she was stunning. There's a movie called Cat Ballou.
Oh my God, she's so great in that.
She's amazing with Lee Marvin.
She's like sexy and like she's silly too. Like, oh, I guess we could get along.
Yeah. She's phenomenal.
Yeah. She's got the same kind of Bridget Bardot, like.
Well, she might have been picking up on Bridget Bardot because it was the same time. And that's the other thing. You'll see that the sex symbols kind of look like each other. Mm-hmm. In any given generation.
Yeah, they were just going off of, well, this is what everyone likes now, so.
All right, we were talking about, like the 70s and how crazy it is. My favorite thing is to be watching any of the NBA classics and take a look at their shorts that they wore.
The shorts.
That they were so short that dickheads must have just been sticking out at any given moment.
Look at this. It's fucking 2 feet above their knee.
But here's the thing. don't you think that is probably easier to play basketball in rather than have shorts that bunch up around your knee and past your knee?
Well,
that obviously is better for athletics if you look at it.
But if you even look at soccer at that time, look at the People's Maradona. And his shorts were incredibly tiny. And also back then, the fields were all fucked up. Like, they didn't look like they gave her shit.
Right.
Even in the World Cup.
Nothing was getting maintained.
Look at those tiny little shorts he's wearing.
Teeny shorts.
Yeah.
This is the Speedo. That's what he's fucking wearing.
Those would be teeny shorts on a woman. You'd be like, she's wearing some short shorts.
Well, they say now the average woman in America weighs the same as the average man in America in 1960. That if you took the regular woman in America and the regular guy in America in 1960, and it's like, what's always funny is like you'll watch an old movie and they'll be making fun of somebody like James Coco for being fat, and no one would point it out today.
I
You
know.
what I mean? Like, it was like, James Coco? He's like a regular dude.
Or like if you see like the fat kid is always like, oh, he's the fat kid in class. In an older movie, it's not that fat.
No.
Or not what we would call fat
He
now.
weighed an extra 10, 15 pounds.
Right.
James Coco looks fine.
He looks great.
Yeah.
And they fucking rode his shit. I mean, they just fucking rode that man. I think he was in a movie called Fatso. That's how fucking bad they were with this poor fucker.
He looks good.
Here's Bob in Baltimore.
Hey, Benningtons.
Hey.
I got a suggestion. Sharon Stone in Total Recall. Very, very sexy.
I would go back even earlier, and it was Sharon Stone in Stardust Memories. All she does is like throw a kiss to Woody Allen, and she, at the time, everybody was just like, she like was this thing of just beauty, like beauty that you would never come close to.
Now, looking at her in the other picture, do you think that it looks dated to you in the Total Recall picture?
Yeah, of course. She looks like an 80s beauty. But yeah, at the time, she was stunning. And she's still very, very pretty.
Yeah.
But I mean, you stop everything pretty. Well, I remember the first time I saw Mask, right? The
Jim Carrey movie.
Yeah. What's her name? The little blonde
Cameron Diaz.
When Cameron Diaz come down the steps, everybody in the theaters lost their fucking breath. And now you look at Cameron Diaz and you're like, yeah, she's pretty.
You're right.
I'll give you another one. 2 Days in the Valley. 2 Days in the Valley.
That's South African girl.
Why can't anybody think anymore?
Theron?
Yeah.
Charlize Theron.
When I saw her in that movie, I'm sitting in the theater and I had a Coke. I just opened the Coke up, poured an icy Coke down the back of my shirt, and I actually turned around to my chick and I go like this: if I pass out, just slap me in the face. I want to stay awake for this. No one saw anything like her.
Yeah.
Her in the cat suit.
Yeah.
Go to her in
Stunning.
the cat suit. It was phenomenal. But now you see her and you're like, oh yeah, she's pretty.
Yeah.
But at the time,
But I think she has maintained.
it isn't a matter of that. I'm talking about looking otherworldly. She's a beautiful woman. But when you had never seen that look before,
Yeah.
that's why you can't look back and say, oh, I'm going to judge Raquel Welch by what she looks like to me.
Yeah.
Because all those men saw her coming out of the fucking water in 1 million years BC, this terrible movie, and they try not to make a noise that their wife could hear. You know what I mean? They're just swallowing, right? Just pure desire. Jason in Detroit.
Hey, Benningtons. What about Pam Grier? You guys haven't talked about the black ladies.
Well, Pam Grier, so beautiful that Tarantino stayed, in love with her for the rest of his life. But Pam Grier, no one had ever seen like a tough black chick.
I know. And she was so super sexy and stylish, which is like, you're going to get the guys and the ladies on
But
your side
also
that way.
badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always been black sex symbols even for white men. Like Lena Horne was somebody they were crazy about. I remember being a little kid and seeing Diana Ross and the Supremes and being like, where
those thighs?
Where do these ladies come from? These ladies, these classy, elegant, beautiful ladies. They're not around here anywhere.
Right.
I don't know where this land is. This magical land. Rose.
How are you guys?
Good.
I haven't heard you say anything about the lovely Sophia Loren.
Beautiful.
I think Raquel Welch was a knockoff of Sophia Loren.
Sophia Loren.
I can remember my dad saying that way back in the day.
Well, Sophia Loren was actually an Italian beauty, to even compare her. And there's that famous picture when somebody's looking at her tits. You ever see?
Yeah, she's looking at the other blonde who's not.
I think it was Jane Mansfield.
Mansfield.
Yeah. And men were just crazy about that.
There was that one shot of her when she's coming out of the water in Boy and a Dolphin, which that particular picture reminds me of that one of Raquel Welch coming out of the water in 1 million years BC.
Right, now you make me want to go back and see all these.
Great
thanks.
movies. Yeah.
Bobby in South Carolina.
Oh, I thought Robin Wright in The Princess Bride is the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen.
She's so stunning. She's still stunning. I adore that woman.
Well, you know what? Even though I loved her in Princess Bride, what was the Westies Irish movie with Sean Penn? And there was a slow motion Robin Wright just kind of just standing there with her hair.
State of Grace.
Just so unbelievably beautiful. And then she also had that thing where she was like kind of badass and cool and aloof, you know what I mean? Like you weren't gonna approach her. Something.
Right.
She had to see you fucking rescue a kid or something. You know what I mean? You were gonna have to do something. Yeah, you were gonna have to do something so amazing, and then still act like it's no big deal. Just beautiful. And I agree with you. Still, absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Bob in Georgia.
Hey guys, Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan, very interesting thing there that she had in the 80s that I honestly think that Elaine from Seinfeld picked up on. But both of those might have also come from the Diane in the Woody Allen movies. And that's like a woman who dresses like somewhat like an elegant dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there is a whole cool thing going on there, so you could believe that she was one of the guys.
Yeah, and almost it's not the girl next door look, but it's like one of the guys look. Which actually, in truth, if you look at her, she would not be that chick because she's way too gorgeous.
Well, she's way too gorgeous, but she always it would be like one of the smart guys. Like she'd be one of the guys if the guys were all writers at Elaine's. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like she was above your league on a couple things, and yet your mom would be like, "Why don't you go for her? You know, she's nice."
I can't.
You don't understand the humiliation that I'm going to feel at the end of my fantasy when she says no. Garrison in Wisconsin.
Hey, Ron. A strong Irish redhead, never played the victim in anything, was gorgeous. Maureen O'Hara.
You know, I got to talk to Maureen O'Hara on the phone one time. I forget what the occasion was, something that they were selling.
She's still with us.
Yeah, and she's just out of this world, you know?
Yeah, that's a classic face. Perfect.
Beautiful face, beautiful body, scary fucking personality. I mean, here's a beautiful woman who would fucking swing at John Wayne in a movie.
Right.
You know what I mean, would punch John Wayne in the fucking face.
And yet, I still feel like you look at it and you're like, this is beautiful, and I'm able to see it, but it's hard to imagine her face and her structure and her being young today and being like, oh yeah, she would totally be a sex symbol. It's very
we don't
difficult.
have people that look like that. No one looks like that anymore.
Why does that happen?
I don't
it's like
know.
they're like, Or like if you ever see like turn of the century, like you're like, how come everybody look like that and nobody else looks like that now? That's not a look that we have. It's just like we don't even have that bone structure anymore.
No, it doesn't exist. You ever like watch those like early things of like, I don't know, like everybody will be watching Limburg land and you just see these crowds of people in New York and they all have the same face.
Right.
And then they all have that weird old man delivery like, every day I sit and I wait for this plane to come down and who knows, maybe one day it will. You're like, why are you talking like that?
Talk normally.
We all talk like
Stop putting a voice on, dude.
They're just so
Be
strange.
normal.
They just have that face that's just stamped out. It just says something like Jewish ghetto that doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, if you see the Jews on the Lower East Side, the Jews don't look like that today. If you see the Italians in Little Italy, the Italians don't look like that today. They've all been fucking suburbanized, you know? These were hard fucking people. You know, just hard as fucking nails people.
And maybe that's why like also softness was seen with such like
Sure.
reverence. Like you're not a hard piece of metal like
Right.
I am. You're like
Just
soft and cushy.
Yeah, just because look at these badass fucking Russian women were just like just washing sheets by hand with their big giant fucking wrists, just trying to stay alive, putting a fucking boot in the hot water and telling people it's soup. You know,
There's disease everywhere.
fucking hard as shit. Yeah, everybody's got TB. They're fucking going down to coal mines.
You have a dozen kids, you lose 8 of them.
Here's Eric in Colorado.
Hey, Bennington. I'm thinking Ursula Andress, or how about the original sex symbol, Mae West?
Well, first of all, I love anything with Mae West in it, but Ursula Andress was that other John Evans guy. That was another.
Yeah.
She was the Bo Derek before Bo Derek. And
Yeah, that was mid-'60s.
yeah,
And she was an actress.
yeah,
She
she
did, like, a
was an
James Bond
actress
thing?
like James Bond
Okay.
and that.
Yeah,
kind
she was the original Bond girl.
Yeah, well, I mean, like we're saying actresses, they
Right.
weren't killing it, you
Right,
know?
exactly. They were put in movies.
Like, she's
Right.
hot.
But I guess you could probably go through the Bonds and say that each time you're going to be looking at
A net
this
girl.
this is what the look of the time was. I mean, when did they first introduce a non-white Bond girl? Because that was like kind of a big deal.
I think it was Halle Berry.
No.
Oh wait, yeah, I think it was because
I think it was Halle Berry.
because there was a big deal about it, like, oh my
Yeah.
god, there's a black blonde Bond chick.
I feel like it was earlier. I don't know much about the Bond movies.
But here's all you need to know about Bond. As terrible as they are,
right.
You get the it girl of the time, and you get the sound of that time. You know, they always
Yeah.
play a song that has very much to do with what the era is doing. So you can really sit back and look at Bond movies and see how popular culture moves along.
Right.
Like now, Bond is, you know, really gritty and, you know, action
Realistic,
stuff.
kind
Yeah,
of.
but no, because no one really wants to look like. But in the '60s, guys wanted to come off like, oh, I'm not really doing anything except for looking attractive myself. You know what I mean? And like just barely doing a couple of things. Now this new fucking Bond, he gets beat up like he's Mel Gibson.
Yeah, I think
You
there's
know?
like balls torturing one of them. Like, it was
Yeah, it's
crazy.
just, yeah. I mean, it is. It's like an S&M thing that goes on.
I would like to go from the beginning, watch them all.
Oh, I don't think
That's
I could do it. I think I would kill myself.
You freak out after 2.
I would put that out there with Jurassic, just saying Jurassic World once.
Oh, I caught it this weekend.
But I feel like there's going to be like foxy ladies and cool outfits and like cool cars.
It'll bore you fast. So you saw the Jurassic World.
Biggest movie in the world. I caught it. I got sucked in, and it made no goddamn sense. Can I just spoil? Can I throw a spoiler alert out for anyone
I'll
else?
take a long spoiler alert, but
Okay.
Is it going to be a big one?
I'm going to tell you like some of the ridiculous plot points of this film. I mean,
I don't know. You think it's too? Why
I think
do you
it's
feel
too
like
early.
you want to see it?
No, but I'm thinking of the people, you know what
Well,
I mean?
you can always tell the people turn off your fucking radio. And
No,
don't do
but
it. You don't want to lose a listener, do you?
I don't want anyone to get hurt in case they love.
I don't think anyone loved this movie, although it made $500 million. $500 $500 million.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
On a short weekend. Like, it was just a regular 2-day weekend, and they just fucking $500 million worldwide.
By the way, Chris Pratt came in and did this show a couple of times when he was a regular guy.
Mm-hmm.
And since that time, he's had two of the biggest massive hits. I mean, back-to-back summer giant hits. He's Harrison Ford now.
Yeah.
He's the guy who, we don't even know if he's a good actor. But he's in these such movies that are so big.
We like him.
It's crazy that that happened. Like, how did that switch happen?
I don't know. Nobody. I mean, he was the chubby guy on a show that you weren't even supposed to like. If you went back and watched the original Parks and Rec,
he was kind of the jerk.
He was an asshole who was like abusing his chick's good nature.
Yeah.
His part should have been written off.
Yeah.
Instead, they got rid of the good guy on the show and made Chris Pratt the good guy.
And then he got like really in shape for Zero Dark 30, and right after that, it seemed everything fucking came to him, where he started getting bigger
even
and
when
bigger
he was in
roles.
small movies, he was in Zero Dark 30, he was in Her, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Oh,
he
yeah.
would play small movies that would have an impact, just like this little part, and you're like, oh yeah, I know that dude, he's pretty cool.
I like him.
And then they gave him the Guardians of the Galaxy, which by that time I'd had him on the show a couple of times, so I was dying for him to do well. I went there and I'm like, oh man, they're not even using him right. And it became gigantic.
Yeah.
You know? And then this one, I'm like, well, you know, I guess he's taking a nice payday, so good for Chris. Bigger. I don't know what they're going to give him next. Presidency.
Well, he's all right. So he's in the Marvel universe, so he's lined up for a bunch of the Marvel movies. And now this Jurassic thing's there's going to be multiple sequels now that it made it.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably looking at least 5 giant paydays right now.
Nuts.
At
It's
least.
weird that it became that. I don't get it. I don't get it.
And he's supposed to be Indiana Jones is the next thing for
They
him.
might as well give it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, isn't that weird? I just called him the new Harrison Ford, and now you're saying he's going to be Indiana Jones. Is he going to be Indiana Jones' son, or are they rebooting?
I believe they're rebooting.
They love to reboot. All right. I can hear it now. I just feel like we have to give.
Well, I don't want to. Did you see it in the theater?
Yeah, I saw it in the I actually
3D?
saw it in the theater. No, I don't. I refuse to watch 3D. The glasses are too small for my head.
I'll tell you this. Why don't we give it a week?
Okay.
Why don't we give a week for the people that are out there?
Okay.
You guys have 1 week.
You have 1 week, and then Stanley is going to fucking do his summary. I hate any movie. I won't read movie reviews because they just do summaries.
I don't. I can't read anything about a movie until after I've seen it. If I have any interest in see it, I wouldn't. It wouldn't bother me probably to read something about
But
Jurassic World.
I see now with this $500 million weekend that movies are no longer for me. I'm just, you know, they don't care about me and I don't care about them anymore. We've moved on. Movies to me are an old girlfriend, you know?
These are the only fucking giant movies. The only thing that matter anymore. I guess.
Here's the thing. It's an old girlfriend who's now fucking dating douchebags when I know she used to say bad shit about douchebags in the past. And now she's acting like it's cool. You know?
I know the real truth.
Yeah. Really? You're going to a car show? All right.
Cool.
I guess you're going to have a great time then.
You're into that now.
Flying. You're flying across the country for a car show. Yeah, because that's the one. That's you that I know. Great.
Ever talked about cars with me?
Will I enjoy it when it finally gets to HBO?
No.
Not even then.
No.
When you're staying home, decide not to go out.
No.
It's 2 a.m.
It's and then you'll be just annoyed that you're watching.
Well, you know, on that, was it the Galaxy one?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'd even read all the good reviews on that and fucking went and was like excited, like, because I was on vacation. I'm like, this is great. I'm having a summer vacation and I'm going to see a big summer movie that I'm going to like.
No.
Oh, it was terrible.
No, well, the reviews are totally biased now. There's no way to trust a review anymore. Not one.
Well,
you know, they're putting Jaws back out in movies. Tell these people that we moved off of Hot Girls. I don't want to keep them hanging on forever. And 40 years since this movie's come out. And then this weekend, there were 2 shark attacks on a little island. 2 separate sharks, 2 separate girls losing arms in a little island off North Carolina. Now, I never remember hearing about North Carolina shark attacks before?
No.
I'm like, is Universal behind this somehow? Did they think, let's do a couple quick shark attacks and get people buzzing about Jaws? Because you've never seen Jaws in the big theater, right?
No. And I'm very excited to.
Stanley, you haven't either?
Never, just on television.
It's always amazing when you go back and see movies that you've never seen on the big screen. You get to do it sometimes here in New York, films that I never saw. And I'm like, oh, what? It's playing at the Directors Guild? Yeah, I'll go see it. I got to see The Bicycle Thieves a couple years. Unbelievable to see it on a big screen.
It's great. I saw The Conversation and Bottle Rocket over in my neighborhood.
The Conversation?
Yeah. They did a retrospective of Paramount in the 70s, and it was like, it was in the Museum of the Moving Image.
First of all, Conversation is one of my favorite films of all time.
Yeah.
Of just all time. But when you get to see it like that on a big screen, it's a big, different deal. I don't think people were afraid of sharks before Jaws.
Yeah.
And then after Jaws, everybody was afraid of sharks.
It probably was like, yeah, you'd be afraid of it if you thought about it, but why would you think about it?
There was no reason to think about it.
Right.
Because you never read about shark attacks, you never saw anything. But like after that summer, like men were saying to their kids, just go in the ocean. I've rented this place for a week and you're afraid to go in.
Yeah.
The kids are like, I'm not going in that fucking water, man. There's the kids were starting to be afraid to go in lakes, rivers, and in showers. That's how much they were afraid of Jaws.
I think, honestly, when I was little, and I could not be more terrified of sharks because of Jaws when I was little, but it was that not only was I thinking about it, but when I would go underwater, the sound of people talking, that like muffled sound, reminds me of Jaws, and would immediately like get myself really psyched out and just like, no, I'm gonna get out now, I'm good. And I could be in a pool and feel that way.
I was snorkeling in the Bahamas, right? And then you would, it's a beautiful reef and you're only seeing all these fish. But then you kind of look out where you can see it a long distance and it's just kind of gray and you're like, do I see a big shark slowly come? Like you would just be staring like, this looks just like Jaws and I think this is going to be a shark. And like you would do it like when you were snorkeling, you'd do it like 20 times. Like, what the fuck? Is there something moving? And I never once saw a shark coming at me like that. But at least 20 times, I'm like, I think that's a fucking shark slowly coming at me.
There's nothing scarier than the idea of like that place where you lose visibility in the ocean, and you're just like, everything is out there. Literally, everything is connected.
Right.
And they're all out there.
You could travel and see the shipwrecks and giant whales and, it's all there. That's true because there's nothing stopping. There's no walls. But, this is funny because they were talking about Jaws a lot now because they're bringing it back. And Steven Spielberg, thought he was making the worst movie ever. I mean, he was having panic attacks. He was freaking out. So he gets to John Williams. He's like, all right, you've been working on the movie, on the music, man, because everything's going fucked up. And John Williams is like, yeah, I think I got it. He goes, all right, what do you got? And he's like sitting here at a keyboard. And he's like, dun, 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 dun. And Spielberg is like, what are you fucking doing? I'm fucking already telling you I'm in a bad place. And now you're just hitting two notes over and over. I got to work again. Like, he was like 27 when he made that fucking movie.
It's bizarre.
27.
To take that on, it's fucking crazy. I can't wait for that to get rebooted.
I think you look at stuff like Jaws, and it's the perfect animal to be afraid of because, we don't have Jaws ourselves, right? So it's that tearing at your body that freaks you out. And then you're a worse fighter in the water than you are anywhere else on the planet.
I think it's probably the scariest death to think of because you're in fear, you're in pain, and then the shark is dragging you underwater, so you're probably breathing in water and drowning at the same time.
Oh, I didn't even think of that part of it.
It's literally the worst possible
ocean water.
Yeah.
Like when something happens and it just shoots down like just down your gullet.
Right.
Like you're not wet. Like you ever come up like you're breathing and a wave hits you and it just pours down your throat.
It's the worst feeling. So you have that combination, not to mention like poor visibility. You're just like seeing flashes of its face and its eye, and then you're just trying to fight back.
All right, out of any land animal, to me, the worst to be killed by is a wolf. I don't want to. I think I would rather die from most things than be torn apart by wolves.
Because they're not that large, so it's going to take
a while.
time.
And it's tearing, you know what I mean? Like, it's worse than being shot. You know, and plus that thing, get at me wolf, which I don't want to be thinking, like how ironic that this is the way I'm going out, but the tearing of the wolf.
Ugh.
And they say wolves will attack any person at any time, anywhere in the country, and they fucking lay in packs, and they try to figure out, like, how far are they from the baby, so we can go and get it. If we do anything, if I'm elected president, I can assure you, I'll kill every wolf out there.
Wipe them out.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were just thinking about babies all the time.
Oh, yeah. I'll kill the wolves before they kill your babies. Remember, it's Bennington, 2016.
What about a giant snake?
I think I could get away from a snake.
No, you can't. And a lot of times, you're still alive when they're eating you. So now add claustrophobia.
All right, but here's the thing. So they wrap around me, right?
Yeah. I'm
going to stand up and go over to the fucking end of the building, rip into it,
No.
hit it against the stop sign.
I'm talking like giant anaconda.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I feel like
squeezing
I
you?
can still fucking get up on my feet and run it into something sharp.
No,
Couldn't you choke it out? Because, I mean, the head's going to be around you. And so you could just grab that neck of that and just try to snap it. I'm sure there's like a neck bone in the fucking snake.
No, they're crushing you to death. They make you pass out, and then you wake up and you're being eaten alive. And then also probably, I would imagine, stomach acids eating away at you.
Yeah.
But you're past that. You don't know anything like that. I mean, at most, you're in a coma. Plus, has it ever happened where a human being has been eaten in this? All right.
Yeah.
In North America?
No, not in North America. No, not in North America, but I saw a picture once.
Yet the wolf attacks are by the scores every day.
It's terrible.
What about you, Stanley?
I feel like a bobcat, if I get my throat torn out, I'd be pretty pissed. Because a bobcat's not that big for the big cats. And I feel like I could fight a bobcat, but so getting my throat ripped out by it, and they come down sometimes from upstate New York into the city.
Well, the scratchiness of them, too. Like, they're pulling you, not just biting, but every scratch against you, and you're like, Bob, that hurts.
But there's something about a mammal that I think I still stand a chance. Like, I could reason with it somehow.
Like, I feel like I could beat a bear.
Yeah, like there's something about it that you think, all right, it's just like a big dog in a way.
Here's the thing with
I
a
can
mammal.
Throw something and confuse it.
You know, yeah, and you also feel like you could knock out any animal if you're fucking hit it in the right spot.
Exactly. A bobcat, I feel like I could fucking crush its shit. One fucking knock to the head.
A bobcat is so small, Chris. You're afraid of nothing.
Yeah, come on.
No one ever says, get at me, bobcat. I'd be more afraid if Bobcat Goldthwait was coming after me. Other than that thing. A bobcat is almost the same size as a house cat.
Look at the face. It's pretty cute. That's something that I think that you could jingle your keys
All right,
and
what about
distract
this, though? What about the snake? How would you feel like a poisonous snake that hits you, right?
Oh.
It bites you, and then you know you're going to be cramping up and shitting yourself and puking yourself. So
You know you have like an hour of the worst pain ever until you
just
die.
deathly sick.
And then your skin starts rotting from the inside out.
What?
Yeah, that's some of the venom. Your skin just starts rotting, and as you're alive.
This I didn't even know about.
Yeah.
I just thought you cramped up and died.
No. There's some poisons out there from these fucking spiders and snakes that will just destroy your entire body.
I'll tell you this, I don't like spiders and snakes.
No.
That ain't what it takes to love me. You fool.
I saw a video once of a guy explaining what exactly the snake venom does to your body.
Oh, God.
And he basically took this little bowl of blood and did a drop of the snake's venom, and it literally turned to like pudding. Like it just started to gellify. Like all your blood is just becoming thick.
I didn't know
pudding
that.
blood.
Roll pudding and then it rapes you.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
I didn't even know most of this. I just feel like the good thing if I saw a snake like that, I could just get a pan flute and just get it to start dancing.
Look at that.
There's the
jelly.
pudding.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, I hate a fucking snake. Legless little fucking awful things.
There's no way to reason with one. You can't jingle your keys at a snake.
I got one for you. A gator.
Gator's going to be pretty similar to shark. It's death in water. You got that death roll.
Yeah, they drowned. They lock onto you. It's like stepping into a bear trap. They take you into deep enough water and roll you and keep you down until you drown. And then they generally push you under a log and try to fucking eat you later. Like they tender you up a little bit.
They just keep you for... Yeah, and they can be on land, too, which is worse than a fucking shark.
Yeah.
They say they can move pretty good on land, but I've seen a lot of them in Florida just laying like fucking old suitcases.
Yeah. Just walk right by them. You could accidentally step on one.
Yeah.
Seem lazy.
Well, that's the thing. Like, they eat once a month. So you're really lucky if, like, they had something to eat, like, a week ago. They're like, nah, not worth the energy.
Yeah, that's true. You never know. If they're full, they don't give a fuck about anything.
Like, nothing. Anything could walk in front of them. They're like, whatever.
There should be some sort of initiative just to feed alligators so they're not attacking and killing human beings.
That's the other thing, though. The more you feed them, the bigger you get. I mean, they get fucking enormous if they just eat.
Yeah.
Like, unlike us, they don't get fatter, they get longer.
Yeah.
It's like if you thought of humans, right? Instead of, like, seeing fat people, you would just see a bunch of people who'd be, like, 18, 19 feet tall. You're like, dude, you gotta stop fucking eating like this. You're 19 feet tall right now.
How do you live? How do you get by every day?
And they say a croc is fucking worse than a saltwater croc is the worst thing ever. Worse than a gator.
Even faster.
Well, did you see that thing where
vicious.
that zoo that they escaped? And they claim that the meanest fucking thing on the planet is a hippo. A hippo will fuck you up.
It's weird because I don't remember knowing that as a child, and like it's weird to think this animal that straight up goofy looking, like it's a goofy looking animal.
Right, go for like hippo chasing in what do you call it? Because I used to have a rhino thing when I was a kid.
Yeah,
because a rhino would just run up and hit a fucking car with his big nose.
Yeah,
it's just sad that a lot of that shit's gone, man. Like almost any of those animals that we're talking about are all in reserves. None of them are really in the wild.
Specifically, I think black rhinos are like on the pretty much extinct list. There's like 1 or 2 left.
Now, you want to see it in the water.
Yeah.
There's stuff with rhinos chasing boats.
Or hippos, yeah. Look
hippos.
at this.
Look at this. A fucking hippo's fast as shit.
Holy
in the water.
shit.
Yeah. Now watch when they pop up. It's scary as hell.
It's just...
Look at that thing. Look at the size of his head.
Oh, my God.
And he wants to just fuck them up for being in a boat.
He's keeping pace with a boat.
Yeah. All right, here's a weird deal. This is up on the iBank today, too. So, the Arctic is getting so warm, right? And the polar bear has less and less to eat. They're finding some of these polar bears that literally starving and their bones are, exposed and stuff. Dolphins are starting to swim up in the Arctic, and polar bears are fucking reaching into the water and eating dolphins. This has never happened in the history of the planet.
This sounds like something out of Revelations. It's not good. We're at the end of times.
When Will Smith was running from a lion in fucking Times Square. This is seriously end time stuff. Now, this gets even weirder. So this fucking polar bear, he eats one of the dolphins. He takes the other one, right?
Yeah.
And packs it in snow so he could come back and eat it later. Polar bears, because there's so little food, they're learning to preserve food on their own.
They're throwing it in the fridge, is what they're doing.
Which means they're like 3 generations away from creating cities.
Yeah. They're getting smarter.
They're
adapting.
Yes. Like a raptor, they're adapting.
Life will find a way.
Into a $500 million movie.
Frog DNA.
Joe, did you just sneeze?
I did.
Bless you.
Well, I never saw anyone do it. You know how like sometimes people put their hand up and try to catch their sneeze? He took his whole arm, put his bicep in his mouth to try to stop himself.
Oh, yeah, that's the new thing that they tell you is everyone's
Who's saying this?
It's like the health officials say, you sneeze into the crook of your arm.
Yeah, they call it the Dracula sneeze.
So you did that on purpose?
Yeah, in second grade, I had a teacher scold me for not doing that, and ever since then, I've been doing.
You're so
sneezing into
fucking
my arm.
obedient, dude.
Yeah.
Somebody could say something in
can't
second grade.
She can't hurt you now.
She just spit in her
probably
mouth.
can.
She was so big
Joe,
back then.
you really let me down, Joe. Oh, God. I listened to you on that show, and I'm just disgusted the way you're sneezing into your kneecaps.
Sorry, Miss Marcy.
Yeah, Miss Marcy's going to fuck you up, Joe.
Not again.
See, that's the thing that's happening. Animals are losing their shit.
Yeah. We're creating an even more terrifying environment.
Jackson Bone is furious with Pepper for Pepper saying that he could break a snake's neck. I didn't even hear you say that stupid shit.
He did say
I mean, if you're getting killed by a snake, if it's wrapped you up.
Look at an
what bone do
anaconda.
you snap their neck from? You could fucking turn that thing into a pretzel and it would just unveil itself.
Or at least choke it out.
I mean, seriously.
It's got to breathe.
If we're going to do a serious show,
Yeah.
you got to fucking either do some research or just like, oh, here's a topic I don't know about. I'll sit quietly until drinking and pill taking comes up, and then I'll jump in.
Look,
you don't break a fucking
No.
a snake's neck. They have no neck like that to break.
Yeah, and also a giant anaconda. That would be like saying you could break a femur. Those things are huge.
Happen. There's no bone to break.
Then I'll just choke it out. They have to breathe.
I just want to stick you in that fucking giant pool of snakes right now.
No, don't do that.
I do. Fucking hungry snakes. Then I want to take you up to a polar bear, throw you in that fucking ice hole, and let them dig you out. And I'll go, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, before you convict me, I'm going to listen to a break that I did with him on my radio show.
Not guilty.
All right.
I don't want to be some polar bears fucking leftovers.
Animals have lost their way. Now, Gail went away this weekend.
I did.
And she dropped Birdie off at my house for me to watch, because I'll do a thing where any of my coworkers, I'll watch their pets when they're away for the weekend. That's something, yeah. That's my thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like, hey, drop your pets off of me and I'll take care of them on the weekend. So let's put up the birdie picture up on Twitter so everyone can see how lovely this dog is. Now, this is a rescue dog.
Yes, she is a rescue dog.
And you rescued her from?
It was a shelter in Brooklyn. It's called the Sean Casey Animal Shelter.
So it was already in a shelter.
Yeah. And she was brought in with a group of, like a pack of stray dogs, I think that were down south. And they brought them up here because this particular place is a no-kill shelter. So they were rehabilitating her.
Oh, so some shelters kill and some don't.
Right, exactly. So
what pictures do we have of Birdie? There's the cupcake one. Is there another one?
Yeah, you want me to put up?
No.
Okay.
I just want to show people what an adorable dog this is. I've been trying to get the.
Well, I think at Bennington Show has tweeted a picture of her before, so you can.
Yeah, I'm just trying to wait for it to get up. It's a little frustrating. Whatever we put up would be nice. So anyway, I'll just say, eventually you'll get to see the picture. But this is the sweetest, nicest dog.
Yeah.
It stays at your house. There she is eating her pup cake. And she's just a wonderful dog, right? So, Gail has all these rules about what you're supposed to do. You can't give them too much, and I break all those rules. I want to be the favorite person.
Hell yeah.
So now it's time to take her out for her midday shit on Saturday, right?
Good for her, yeah.
And I'm taking her out, and I'm leaving my building, and as I'm leaving, there was a young girl in her 20s stopping at the door, giving Birdie love, and me love for being with Birdie.
Mm-hmm. She does
This is
have
what
that
it's
effect.
like when you have a beautiful blonde dog with you. So now I walk out on the sidewalk, and Gail has this weird, because I'm not a dog owner myself, but this weird leash that you can press the button and let the dog walk further or tighten it up.
Yeah, a retractable leash, sure.
A retractable leash. So it could go and you let it go and then you're like, hey, that's too much. And you start to
nice.
pull this button and pull it back in. So I'm out on the sidewalk and I'm holding this handle and then my phone goes off and I just make it out on the street, right? And my phone tweet goes off. So I start to pull my phone out. As I'm tweeting back before we start our lovely walk, I suddenly just hear this.
Oh, shit.
And it's like a large marlin hit your fucking rod, right? Just Bernie runs, sees a Great Dane, right? A Great fucking Dane that looks like Marmaduke, right?
Yeah.
Pushes it up against the wall, jumps up on its back.
What?
And goes for the throat of this fucking dog.
No,
and the barking, Bernie's, everyone's like, everything's going fucking crazy. I grab at, now I even forget the button, right? I'm just pulling back. The people who own their fucking Great Dane, I can see almost in slow motion. I'm like, no. I see the fucking dog as it's spitting. Everything is horrible. There's just this horrible beast of bloodletting going on with this adorable little blonde dog attempting to tear the throat out of another dog that had never bothered her, never done anything. And I'm pulling back so much that I have a slice on my finger from the weird wire leash. I'm pulling the dog back, and I'm like, Birdie. The guy looks at me who owns the dog, whose dog has just been assaulted. And he goes like this, is she really like that? And like, if the guy would have been a dick, I would have known how to behave. He was so hurt. And I said to him, it's a rescue dog. I'm watching it for a friend. As if I'm doing some kind of wonderful work. Like, I just got it rescued today. And by me saying that, he looked at me like he was disgusted.
Well, why would he ask, is she really like that? What do you think? She has a sense of humor? She's kidding? Like,
I don't understand what the statement meant, but he just meant, is there really evil in the world? That this dog that he had loved was being killed on the streets of New York. I get this adorable dog who's been nothing but sweet inside the apartment. She doesn't want to walk. She goes a couple feet. She's too hot. She fucking lays down and won't move on the sidewalk.
After the attack?
Yeah, after the attack. Well, first of all, she treated me like a bitch, like she owned me. Then I'm fucking tugging on my Birdie, please, you gotta shit or do something. Or at least let's just go. She won't do nothing. My neighbors are coming up, right? They're like, yes. Hey, what's with Birdie? I just saw her attacking that dog. I go, I don't know. She attacked the dog.
Now everyone knows.
And they're like, they start trying to tell me, like, how to be a dog whisperer and take fucking command.
Because they know.
I'm completely now out of my fucking comfort zone. And I'm furious. I've gone through this assault. And then finally, on the street, I try to pick the dog up. And the dog just dead sells it, right? So the dog is acting like she's a protester and I'm a cop. And if I'm taken to the jail, she's not going to. And I'm like doing like little steps trying to get her back to the house. Like, come on, we're just going to go in the air conditioning that you like. Because I guess she hates the heat,
She
right?
hates the heat. She's very...
And then a lady on the street that I know laughed at me while this was happening.
Oh, my God.
I am in a fucking rage right now. By the way, I'm still fighting off a cold like a hero. I've had a dog attack another dog. And because it won that fight, lost any respect for me on the street. And I had to carry it back, put it in an air conditioner. And I'm like, I don't care what happens to this dog anymore.
It never started walking.
No, not at all.
What the fuck?
Now, this is what annoyed me. So I go out later, right? And I come back to the house and I open up the door and like Birdie's in there. Comes over to me all sweet, puts her paws up like I'm her friend. I wouldn't even look at her. I'm like, I'm not fucking playing this game with you. I'm not happy that you are like, oh, let's forget about everything. Because I'm an abused wife at this point. But the worst sound I ever heard in my life was and then just terrible, just beast sounds.
It's pretty strange that she sounds much more aggressive, I think, than she really is. She has a pretty scary bark. But she's not that big. I mean, a Great Dane is, 3 times bigger than her?
She was on that dog's back, leaning in with expertise to get to the soft throat.
She has wolf-like abilities like that.
And she is this... Now, not only the dog stays with you, never barks, right? If the FedEx man, buzzed, she would go over and sit next to the door with her tail just slightly wagging, like, that's going to be Gail. Gail's hit the door to come up here. And then everything fell apart on the fucking mean streets of New York. And she is so jailhouse. If she's like, I'm never going to be the second person to throw a punch in a fight. And my uncles used to say that. My uncles used to say right away, like, hey, if it starts to seem like there's going to be a fight, just smash him in the face.
Turn it into one.
Yeah, just smash him in the face. Because, if he's picking on you, he's going to eventually hit you. So fucking stun that. They always say the guy would go down like a ton of bricks. He never did. But Birdie fucking has that mentality. It's a jailhouse.
It's really weird. And it's particularly with dogs who are bigger or tougher looking than her.
Something terrible happened to her.
She's pretty scarred up on her nose, and she was roughed up in the past. Never again. She made a vow, never again is she going to get fucked up.
She's like Israel.
Yeah.
She is like Israel. Well, she'll fucking rain down on Palestine.
She's an Iron Dome.
She just sees a Palestinian and she just starts to fucking go crazy.
Now, if there is a little, mean chihuahua or poodle barking, she just looks very timid. She hides behind me. She sees a pit bull, a Great Dane, any kind of large, aggressive-looking dog. I have to
You know why she probably isn't? She probably doesn't know the difference. She doesn't know that those little dogs are dogs, probably.
Yeah.
And sees the big dogs as threats.
Yeah. But it's pretty scary when she does it.
Well, let me tell you something. That fucking Great Dane must have had a soft life. Because nothing, he was not fucking prepared to have anything happen.
Probably from a breeder, right? So it was just, had the best things in life given to it.
Birdie learned her lessons on the street.
Wasn't expected to get his throat ripped out.
Yeah, I know, but that's how fucking dogs end up back in jail over and over. You know what I mean? Haven't you learned nothing?
It's also a problem because people want to approach her with their dogs because she looks very sweet. She looks like a really nice, and she is nice to people.
She loves people.
I
she's
trust
a chick
her
magnet.
Yeah.
Chicks come from all over. Models will come up.
Like, oh, that's a beautiful dog.
Yeah. And they'll be petting her. And they're like, what's her name? And I'll go, Ron. Tell Ron how much you love her.
But yeah, she's really good with people. It's just, she acts like a fucking nut sometimes.
She's a maniac. Well, I will never walk her again.
What?
That's it.
Don't do it.
You're taking a dog on vacation. James.
Hey, Ronnie, how are you guys?
Hey.
So I run a dog resort down here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I spoke with you guys a while ago when you had that young lady, the comedian, in. What you're running into, Gail, is she's just leash aggressive, usually protecting mom or dad. And Ronnie B, the reason she's protecting you is because you hook her up and she loves you.
I didn't know that.
The Dane.
This changes everything. She protected me?
It's positive then?
Yeah.
Then why did she lay on the ground and act like she wasn't going around? Because I think she hates heat.
She does.
She was keeping the Dane away from you. She was staying between you and the Dane because she thought the other dogs might be aggressive and saying, fuck you, this is my person, you don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They do say that when on the leash, they feel a connection to you, and oftentimes they would not be as aggressive if they were just let go.
I'm tearing up over here. I did not know she was fighting for me. No one ever does that.
Yeah. It's leash aggression. They really act completely different when they're off the leash. We are an open format, so the kids get to play all day long together. It teaches them really good socialization. Gail, if you can find anybody up there that's an open format dog kennel or day camp, it would help her so much. She would learn to become a pack member and learn to play well.
You know about this, Gail?
Staying on the defense.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. I think that would be a good thing for her. She's kind of
and
crazy.
make your life easier too.
All right, I'm going to send you in the big-ass prize closet for having a great idea for me. And changing me around, because now I feel like...
Yeah.
Birdie's a hero.
Now, maybe when she sees a little chihuahua, she's thinking, like, that's my problem. That dog is going to hurt me.
It's interesting. Like,
whereas she sees a big dog and they're like, they're going to go after my friends.
Can't have that happen. Joey Jojo, what does he win?
He wins There Goes Gravity, signed by Lisa Robinson.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's a great one.
It's a great book. It's a great rock and roll book. He turned it in. He tied it in with a rock and roll thing like that, you know? He's calling up. He's talking about the Stones. He's talking about Zeppelin.
He's rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did it again. No, do you like his fucking 6-year-old shirt today?
Yeah,
it's like
I do.
a 6-year-old boy at a fucking birthday.
Odd looking.
Bar mitzvah. I got a bar mitzvah later.
No Jews would dress like that. I think we need to break here, huh?
Yeah.
Stan?
We haven't broken yet today.
Stan. So, yeah, we just give you a straight hour and a half. I hope you're happy with that, folks. We love you.
Uncut. Straight up.
Ew.
You're helping. It's made it worse.
Is it?
Yeah, you're just sitting there talking about an uncut dick.
No, it wasn't dick.
That's the only reason you would say uncut.
That's why you said it.
Like an Englishman's cock.
Oh.
That Anglo dick.
This is Bennington.
You're listening to Bennington on Raw Dog Comedy Hits, Sirius XM 99.
What is it, Chris?
Tito's vodka.
What about it?
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka.
I know that you told me that last week.
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure you know that in 1995, Tito Beverage had the idea.
Yeah, I know. He had the idea of doing it down there in Austin, Texas, where he still is today.
Yeah, but he built his own micro distillery.
Yes, you told me.
He incorporated the boutique winery concept into the spirits industry.
I told you how much I loved it. I told you how great I think Tito is. I told you how great I think Tito's vodka is.
But you know that he acquired the first legal permit to distill in Texas and put his life savings into it?
Yeah, I found out. You know how?
How?
From you.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just.
And now I'd use all the credit cards.
Yeah, 19 credit cards to build his own copper pot stills and condensers.
Yes.
And since then, look at all these awards he's gotten. He's been awarded a 95 rating by Wine Enthusiasts, won the unanimous Judge's Choice double gold medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. It's got a modest paper label on a simple bottle.
Yeah, I know. So he could save all that for the vodka. Chris.
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
need to learn a new tune. Everybody agrees with you on the Tito's vodka. What we don't like is you coming around, not even saying the same stuff, but reading the same stuff. It starts to come across as psycho. We know Tito Beverage stood up to the Russians, stood up to the Poles. Now, the greatest vodka in the world comes from Austin, Texas. Tell us something we don't know.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is distilled 6 times from 100% corn and is naturally gluten-free. Visit us at titosvodka.com for recipes, songs, and more. 40% by alcohol by volume. Handcrafted to be savored responsibly.
That's how easy it is to do one of his songs. Just say Joey.
Man loves his name.
Welcome back to Bennington. There's Gail Ann Bennington right there. And Gail, I'm worried that you're getting the family cold.
I am getting it. It's finally reached me.
You'll be closer to death than you've ever been in your life if you get this cold.
I'm really
I got 2 words for you, though. Neti pot. It's awful. It's terrible, but neti pot it.
I'm terrified of a neti pot. I think it seems like waterboarding.
Yes, it does.
Self-waterboarding.
Did you ever see how healthy those prisoners were after they came out of the waterboard?
I didn't realize.
They were fantastic.
They seemed happy.
I didn't realize how clear their sinuses were.
Yeah. I wish they would come over and waterboard me tonight. I'll tell them anything they want to know. I'd be like this. It's Bin Laden. That's who did it, Bin Laden.
Did you get him yet?
Then why are you still here yelling? We got to make a pronouncement. We had a unmasked scheduled with Jim and Jeannie Gaffigan, and we're going to have to put that off. Some conflicts came up. So I will tell you this. I've seen the stuff for the Jim Gaffigan show, and it's terrific. So even if we never get to do this unmasked, watch out for the Jim Gaffigan show, July 15th at 10 o'clock, TV Land. But we're doing our best to reschedule, right?
Yes, we are. Yeah. Everyone's working to get a nice rescheduled date.
I'm not going to blame anyone, but it's Caroline's fault.
That is true.
Things would have been a little easier. But it's okay. We're rescheduling. It's all going to work out.
Not necessarily. It's Caroline's fault. Now I feel like you're giving me the cold back.
No, I didn't mean to.
I don't know what's going on with this cold. I went to my doctor about it the other day.
What did he say?
He was just crying. I don't know. He was he was looking at my charts and he was crying.
That's not good.
He should have kept it together for you.
Then he called me patient zero.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
I don't know why.
I got to start taking more vitamin C.
And I saw him. He says, he's looking at my charts. And then he goes like this, can I just have a second? He picks up his phone and he calls his wife and says, take the kids as far away as you can. I'm not going to make it.
Oh, no. No, I've got it. And typhoid married me
and
so
I'm just
hard.
like, why don't I just have some juice? So I eat some zinc with it. Do you guys see the cop that got caught on video busting a place for marijuana? I guess some of these places sell marijuana and they're not allowed to.
Well, it's the whole government versus federal versus state government. So they could technically bust some of these dispensaries.
Even in Colorado?
This is in California.
Even in Colorado?
And even in Colorado? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even in Oregon?
Yeah, even in Oregon. Yeah. Because it's all state laws. It's still federally illegal.
I know they're not allowed to use banks. The banks will not, so that they have these big businesses, and then they have to take all this fat cash with armed guards. It's all crazy.
I had no idea
Yeah, it's really
because
getting weird.
Yeah.
The banks are tied in with federal stuff.
Yeah,
That's why.
The banks are afraid that the feds are going to show up because there's laws against dealing with drug dealers.
Right.
So they could get in trouble. They're like, I don't want any fucking part of this.
Yes, now there's this whole industry of just security guys just dealing with the dispensaries, weed money.
This seems like something we should all get on the same page about. You can't be having the state and
Okay,
federal.
good. Then let's make it all illegal.
No.
See, that's what happened.
Different.
What you're saying is I want the other side to agree with me now.
So one dispensary got busted, and they knew they were going to get busted, so they put in some cameras that the cops didn't know about, and the cops disabled their whole security system except for the hidden cameras, and then the cameras caught these cops going through their weed food, eating it, and then playing darts and just like hanging out in the dispensary.
Come on, guys.
Look, I understand taking some shit and putting in your pockets, but you're at work, dude.
Yeah.
You want to be fucking high at work and have to write a report?
And there's like 8 cops, all loaded for bear, all have a bunch of guns, just busting into this dispensary where it's just like 6 people selling weed food and bud.
Now what kind of trouble are these guys going to get into, if any?
Well, they're not cops anymore, that's for sure. You get caught like that on camera, you're fucked.
Yeah, they're under investigation by the department.
But you think it's like they would take it worse than an incident of maybe drawing your gun on a kid when you shouldn't have? Do you think like this particularly looks bad? Like it looks extra trashy, perhaps?
Yeah, this looks terrible.
I mean, it's just a bunch of fucking cops just going in there and they're just in masks and whatnot.
California cops are so strange.
And here are the cops just looking at the packaging of the weed food.
Like, this is great.
Actually, this sounds pretty good.
And then he just eats it.
Oh my God. And gives it thumbs up.
Yeah, he's like,
Thumbs
oh
up.
yeah, there's weed in this. I'll be high as a kite in about 45 minutes. And they're just hanging out in the place playing darts and just harassing these people.
Why is there a dartboard in this fucking place if it's for medical? I look at that woman's like in a fucking wheelchair. I just hurt so bad everywhere.
Weed's the only thing that helps.
And then all those cops came in and ate it.
So ridiculous. The darts is an extra good touch, though.
I know.
Well, you know it's happening.
I wish we could hear the music that was playing. They're just like, don't stop, believe. This cop rock. Coming soon, cop rock.
Stuff cops can rock to.
That's a weird story. The escaped prisoners, the murderers escaped, is still a weird story.
I survived my upstate trip.
Yeah, well, I could tell you're still alive here. Your paranoia was for nothing again. One day it'll pay off. But to me, the weirdest story at all is the black head of the Spokane NAACP isn't black.
It's such a bizarre story. I feel like also looking at pictures of her, it seems like somebody should have made this connection a little bit earlier.
You knew she wasn't black.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, you can't say that to somebody if they come up and they're light-skinned black.
Right.
They're like, I'm black. You don't ever go, I don't think so.
But if you look at the color of her skin, you can see that she's using bronzer. Like, it's not... Like, I understand she's trying to go for a light skin.
Yeah, you're right. Most of the white people I know are darker than her in the summer.
I know. But
her hair, she's got, the kind of fro hair.
Yeah, which she clearly kinkified, because look at this picture of what she actually looked like years ago, which was a very fair-skinned...
See, she's taking her hair the exact opposite way that an actual black woman would.
Right. They're like trade you.
They spend forever not having hair like that.
It's kind of bizarre because I know it's bringing up a lot of conversation of whether or not she should be treated as harshly as she's been treated, because a lot of people are making the connection. Well, we've just been told to accept Caitlyn Jenner, and she's saying, I feel like I am a different gender than what I was born. And here's a case of somebody saying...
And we're supposed to call her a hero.
Right.
Caitlyn.
Now, I understand, like,
That's
there's
it. Caitlyn's a dude. Forget it. Now you've turned my head around. I was all on your
It's
side.
not my intention.
Yeah. I was all on Caitlyn's side until I'm like, yeah, this woman isn't black. She made it up.
Well, I mean, there's a fundamental difference there. But what I'm saying is, it's not necessarily a difference that I entirely understand. Like, I have to take your word for it. If you're saying to me, you were born a gender that doesn't feel right to you.
Okay.
But like, in this case scenario, I mean, trans people are actually, like, talking about this right now. Like, everyone stop making this comparison. It's not the same thing.
It is the same thing. Chet Hayes may have been born to Malibu to two superstar parents.
Right.
But he feels and acts black.
Yes, he feels gully as hell.
And we're not accepting of him.
No.
And we should be. I'm all for Chet Hayes now.
But in her case, she's coming off as a liar and dishonest. But nobody, if you were to
I'm
call...
sorry, what about when Fez was in the closet for so many years?
Right.
Did we ever say, you lying son of a bitch?
No.
But,
No,
I mean, he did live in secret. This woman was living in secret too. Every part of her feels like a black person. And I don't... Here's the sad part of it. She just decides to become black and ends up running the whole goddamn NAACP in her area. I mean, it just looks like,
Right. If she had just laid low with it.
Right.
If she like, that's how she went to the grocery store.
She tried to lay low with it, but just by showing up and being on time and getting some work done, she moved to the head of this thing. And that's the embarrassing part. But I saw Reverend Al was like, her parents ought to shut the fuck up. Reverend Al was on this woman's side, saying,
"Really,
you're really getting in the way of some important things that need to be talked about."
Right, because also she did do a lot of good. She had a lot of accomplishments under her belt. She doesn't.
I mean, let's play it this way, right? Does it hurt anything that she said this?
Right.
Does it?
No, I don't think that it does, but I think that people feel lied to is the problem.
But why aren't we saying Bruce Jenner was a liar for years, going around having babies and saying that he was a dad when he tells us that he always felt like a woman and never like a dad?
I'm not entirely sure why we would side with one thing over the other, to be honest with you.
And why aren't transgender people saying it's the same thing? What's the difference?
Yeah, like because from what I can tell, it's the opposite. That, like, at least some of the articles I've seen over the last couple of days is that trans people are getting upset that these are being compared in any way. But you're right. I mean, maybe perhaps what should have been done is to stand up for somebody who is not like yourself, to say, okay, this is different from me and what I do.
But she feels black. Right. Everything about her feels black. So if you feel it, you are it. Isn't that what we've been told by the transgender people?
They open up the floodgates of feel equals real.
Here's the deal. One of these is something that the PC people can get behind.
Yeah.
This makes you feel liberal to support Bruce Jenner, who, by the way, liberal people, he would fucking vote against you and has voted against you every chance he got. He doesn't care about, or now she doesn't care about poor people or anything else. She just wants less taxes and carny stuff. So you're protecting her. But here's somebody who's on your side and you're against because it fucks up your whole scene.
Or like, this does not make sense with you.
Here's my ruling on this. If I was the judge, we either accept them both or we deny them both. I don't care either way.
Yeah.
But let's just have a flat rule that we can all agree to.
Right.
Are you what you were born or are you not? Because the whole fucking born this way, I was born this way. Then why are you getting your fucking penis slashed down the middle and then pushed up inside yourself? Because you think born this way would be enough.
Especially if you have a healthy junk.
All right, here is somebody who calls themselves a black woman. You're not using her actual name?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm from Minneapolis, and my children are biracial.
Uh-huh.
And I have biracial people in my family whose fathers were white. Remember back in the day, if you were one drop of black, you were black.
Right.
Now, she identifies with it. I swear, it's kind of like you said, I swear we spend more time trying to change our hair as black women than white women have. And we try to change our identity. But I think that she has deeper issues than just trying to be a different race than what she is. I think she's not accepting of her parents. And if you're going to be a race, accept your parents who they are. Don't put them in your life.
Well, first of all, there's plenty of parents that shouldn't be accepted by their kids. So I don't know what went on between her and those parents. But I'll tell you another thing.
But accept that they're white, though. Don't say that your parents are a different color. Don't say that you have...
All right, but let me give you one. When everyone says, what's your ethnic background? I always say Irish. But there's German and there's other things in there. And none of us in our family have ever accepted that. We just say that we're Irish, which is, by the way, a lie. I'm living a lie. And my last name is actually pretty English.
Yeah, it's an English last name. But the identity has always been Irish.
Identity has been Irish from the get.
And on my mom's side, it's the same thing. It's Italian, and that's only half of the story as well. It's like, I think you choose your, what you
choose your identity.
Yeah.
Well, my dad is from Mexico City. My dad is Mexican. My name is Chiquita Maria, and my mom is black. I chose either or at the same time. I have my children choose. They don't need to choose on those pieces of paper, but they are half white. They are a quarter Mexican. They are half black. So we all are much in society, but don't deny me when I raised you. We already have issues with our parents anyway. But still, if your parents are white, don't put them in your life. And I think that's where people get upset. You added people in your life.
I don't have a problem with anybody redoing themselves because maybe they weren't treated well when they were younger.
Right, and also...
Well, black people aren't treated well anyway in society, but we don't say, well, my skin is brown, I'm going to go out and just be white. My uncle's been a pastor. He grew up in the 60s and passed. He said it was the worst thing ever, but that's how he was accepted. If he was white one day, white people saw him as white. If he was in a black community, well, black people denied him. So you can't win for losing.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. There was that book in the 60s, too, that was called Black Like Me, where the guy went and tried to make himself look black and then went down south and got treated like shit for it, I mean, that's not that long ago.
In the middle of this country, we cannot win for losing in this country no matter what.
Yeah.
So in the end, we either say, hey, this woman is a liar and that's what she is, or we just say, you know what, that's the way people are. Do we say Eminem's white or black? We say Eminem's a white rapper.
Right.
But he raps better than most black rappers.
But yeah, and he seems to identify with black culture, which is true of almost every young white guy as far back in our culture as you can go. Right. You know what I mean? Like the Zoot Suit Boys and the Jazz Boys, they were picking up on black culture.
But do we sit matter and say, well, because they were Jewish, and a lot of them were Jewish Americans, do we say that they acted black so they're black? No. Why can't we just accept people, though? If you're gonna, we have little white girls in our community called pastors and wannabes, but that's Minnesota, though. You grew up on the north side of Minneapolis. You're going to identify the culture you grew up with.
Right. I would agree with that, but also sometimes you can just fall in love with a culture. I mean, I know people who are like, they fell in love with Argentina or Paris and just went and immersed themselves in those places.
And maybe if we had a more accepting environment with other races, maybe she would not have created lies that fabricated like her past.
But see, here's the thing. The fact that she was accepted by black people is big to me. It's just like yesterday was the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York City. There was 1.5 million people at that parade waving flags, but no one is checking everyone to see how Puerto Rican they are. But if you show up with the flag and you're waving it, everyone's like, yeah, come on in, be Puerto Rican tonight. You know, Irish is the same way on St. Patrick's Day.
But white people have the biggest issue with it because they are the white media, and media is white, and that's just reality.
Yeah.
Well, black people say, wait, hey, if you're fighting for our rights, we don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with her changing her color. I don't have a problem with changing her hair. God bless her, because I try to keep mine straight every day. But the reality is, we're not going to stop judging people. We're not going to stop accepting people if we start accepting ourselves. And that's just it. We can't say that we're skinny. We had to post people on there like Pink. Well, she's too fat. Well, we're still looking at people the way we look, and that's just society in America.
I appreciate your call, Maria. It's some interesting things. Well, here's another one for you. If you decide to show up and say to everybody, I'm gay, and I want to work for gay causes, no one is going to question you. No one's going to say, we want to see you with another man first.
Please
you know what I mean?
Show me now.
Prove right here and right now. You would be just accepted. There's no reason that anybody would have that problem. I think that's what's happened with her. She showed up. I'm black. I want to work for black causes. And everyone's like, great. I don't know whether anybody, you know. It's not like she was leaving there and going home and pretending to be
someone else.
Yeah, white suburban mom.
Right.
That would probably be even weirder. But the fact is, she just said, this is who I am. It's weird that, like you said, the white people have a bigger beef with this than black people.
Well, I mean, and as far as if what the issue is, she can do what she wants, but it's like the lying is what upsets you. What is it that we're going to set up that a trans person has to tell their past and explain the way that they were born? Do you think like they have an obligation to tell the full truth about?
Well, let's say this. Suppose that she tried to get into Harvard as a black person.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think then we would have a beef.
Right.
That would be like that. What was that movie, Soul Man?
Yeah.
That you love so much, Chris?
I can't get enough of that movie.
Yeah. And I find it to be offensive.
Oh, it's funny, though.
Funny how? Laughing at people? Here's Julian in Memphis. Julian.
Yeah, hi.
Hey,
yeah, how you doing, guy?
Good.
Yeah, man, I just want to say that, you know, this woman's got all right to be who she wants to be. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. You know, but saying that, and she has done a lot to help. The NAACP worked hard. So what's the beef?
I think the beef would be is she tried to get a black scholarship. That would be the only place that I think. And by the way, the number of people that I've ever met in my life who said they were 1/8 or 1/16 Cherokee is through the fucking roof.
Everyone is.
Yeah, no one ever says I'm 1/8 Lenape. No one ever picks any of the more docile tribes. It's always the badass
warrior tribes.
Yeah, the warrior tribes that they're after. And I met tons of people who said that. Here is Pam. Pam, how are you? Pam in Colorado. Go ahead.
Hey, I just am calling because I think pretending to be black or being raised white and then acting black later is totally different than someone who's transgender trying to become what they feel like they are inside. There's a big difference.
But you could personally, at different times of your life, identify with another ethnic group.
Yeah.
Period.
I agree you can identify with an ethnic group, but that doesn't change what you are, what your genetics are. You can go and immerse yourself in
I don't believe that it's even genetics.
You Argentinian.
I don't believe that that's genetics. I mean, we're not changing a physical makeup.
No, that's how you live. That's how you've been influenced by people.
I mean, if
and
it
things
was
in your life.
genetics, a black person couldn't get a white person's kidney or heart transplant. Everything is the same between white people and black people.
Yeah, that's the thing that's particularly interesting is that when you actually look down at it and everything is stripped away, there really isn't truthfully any large difference between the races other than their cultural experiences and the way they're treated. But there
I know,
is...
but I mean, a lot of that cultural experience comes from those people of those backgrounds, you know? So you're not going to get if you're raised white.
I disagree. I think you could adapt to it. I mean, look now. People treat me as if I'm a New Yorker, but I was raised completely different. But I've been here long enough that people assume that I'm a New Yorker. But no one makes it a big deal whether I call myself a New Yorker or not. I'm not living a lie. Someone isn't going to say, wait, you were born in the Delaware Valley of Pennsylvania.
I know, but it's not the same as someone who's transgender who has to, like, hide. And like you were saying earlier about...
Why, this woman was hiding.
Not being angry, or they're not being vocal about things. It's because a lot of transgender people are in the closet and they don't want people to know what they think. They're trying to think, oh yeah.
But see, you're just making up things because one would have more pressure on it than the other. But the reality of it is that pressure is just made up. Whether you're accepted or not by the outside world doesn't change your makeup whatsoever. You know what I mean? Whether you are gay and acting on it or not acting on it, or if you were born into a place where everyone could be as bisexual. I mean, I think if no one told you, the odds are pretty high that most people would have had a bisexual experience. You know what I mean? Yeah. You wouldn't have thought about it. So there isn't any, oh, I was born straight and not bisexual. You see that all you have to do to create bisexual boys is send them to boys' school. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's all you have to do. English boys always have their first sex with each other because they're fucking sent away from chicks.
They're just stuck in that, like, it's boarding school? Is that what it is?
Those details don't matter as much, Chris. Is what I'm trying to point out to you.
Got it.
Yes, officially it's a boarding school. if that's the fact is going to push you over the limit.
Now I know.
To agree. But yeah, that's what it takes to be bisexual. Just take the chicks away.
Well, what everyone's really tied up in is the idea of lying and falsehood. But she lied. I guess she had even in speaking events talked about in the past the way she was,
Okay,
mistreated.
can I ask you? Did Bruce Jenner lie?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that if I was, as a woman, if I said to me, Caitlyn Jenner is a lie and like, she will never know what it's like to be born a woman. She'll never know what the hardships of that is. Right?
Yeah.
But I think if a woman said that, she would be treated like she was a fucking asshole.
I know, but you could have easily said, look, Caitlyn Jenner got all the athletic opportunities that I never got. And you would have been right. Because Caitlyn Jenner, coming up in the 1950s and 60s, there wasn't a lot of places for girls to play sport in this country. There is now. Jesus, it's amazing how far women's athletics have gone in my life. But back then, it just didn't even exist.
Well, it's kind of strange because her accomplishments are based on having a male body. What you're only capable of achieving with a male's body.
But she actually beat other males.
Right.
The best males in the world, including a Rusky. I mean, if you really think about it, she was the Tito beverage of the 1976 Olympics.
Yeah.
She went up against, well, first of all, let's go through everything. She's from Austin. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She grew up in Austin. She has her own website that she sings on.
I didn't know that.
She has her own line of vodka.
Mm-hmm.
And they both have Kardashians for kids. So our thing is, the big deal isn't whether or not she's black, because technically we realize that she's not black.
Right.
But she identifies with black culture so much. Is that enough for you to be black?
I mean, no, she's not.
Then why is it enough for young Bruce Jenner to want to get his tits done or whatever?
Yeah.
Why isn't he just a man with tits? Why do we have to say,
her?
Now you are a woman?
Well, I guess that's the more confusing thing, is that one is we're now expected for everyone to get on board with it. Because I'm fine with somebody saying, hey, to me, this woman wants to identify with black. I'm okay with it. And I'm fine with hearing somebody say, this is fucking ridiculous. You would never know what it's like to be a black woman. But the weird thing is with Caitlyn Jenner is everybody needs to get on board with this, or you are going to be left behind.
And the thing is, maybe we'd have more freedom. Whether you don't call Caitlyn Jenner a man or a woman, maybe it makes no difference at all. It's just Caitlyn Jenner.
Right.
That's it. That's where we would have an amount of freedom. And if this woman wants to, kink up her hair and whatever makes her feel good about herself, right. Why is it, they do all the hair straightening now. A lot of women they'll do the weaves and all that. Black women. I saw a woman the other day on the Upper West Side. She gets out of this car. She's wearing these shades, and she has this natural fro. It's not even a gigantic one, but just natural and tight. And I'm like, that woman is so stunning. It reminded me of women from the 70s. But that was always such a stunning look to me.
Yeah.
And now for some reason we don't find that, stunning. I remember when I saw fucking Eddie Murphy making fun of Angela Davis. I'm like, how could that? First of all, anyone who's black make fun of Angela Davis was lost on me. But also for the way she looked. I was blown away because I always thought that was such a powerful, great look, My friends who have natural hair say that it is only people within the black community that give them shit about it. Like, it's only other black women who would say, like, come on, why are you doing your hair like that? You look crazy. Here is, I don't know where it came from, really. Here is Jael the Great in Atlanta. Chris, what is it about these phones that...
They're acting weird today. And even on the board, if I turn them off, they're still on.
What's that mean?
I don't know. So I'm going to call an engineer after the show to see why. The phone should
like boarding school?
I'm going to go to boarding school. Hopefully I won't, make out with a dude.
Jal, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yes, now I can hear you.
Hey, okay, cool.
And your name is what?
Okay, it's Jael the Great.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so I am a black woman, and I don't have a problem with her. Like you guys were saying, people identify with different cultures. There's nothing like that. I've been to Jamaica. I've seen Chinese Jamaica. They're Chinese, but they're they're Jamaican because they were born there. You can go to Russia and find black Russians. You can go to Asia. I've been to Asia and I've seen black people, but they were born and raised in Asia. So who cares? Like, if you love yourself, if you love people, if you're doing what's right, who cares? And then people, like you were saying about the Bruce Jenner thing, that's something completely different. And I would think, and I could be wrong, but I would think if somebody was homosexual, they would kind of understand, like, if you feel like you were born one way, but you feel like you're something else, you should understand. If there's nothing wrong with her identifying with a certain culture or saying that, we all lie. You put my life on, you can find out some things about me that are lies, but I'm a great person. I can find out some things about you that are lies. That doesn't mean you're not a great radio host. That doesn't mean you don't care about things in the community. You lie. We all do.
Yeah, we all lie.
Saying? So I think people need to just chill the freak out, worry about themselves unless somebody's doing something wrong, like hurting children or murdering people or raping people. Then I think we should make a big uproar in society about things. But when you're doing something right, or you're choosing to straighten your hair or make your hair kinky because you think it's beautiful, who the freak cares? Be you, do you, love people, and let's just live a beautiful life. People, it's too much.
All right, thank you so much for calling.
I understand where she gets the name, the Great.
Oh yeah, there's a
gonna
confidence
agree
there that I admire. But you know, when you look at hip hop culture, there doesn't even have to be black people around. Like you can go to Japan, and those kids worship hip hop culture so much, you know, that they're doing some of their. They're running around like they're Ice Cube or something.
I know. And there's a group of, young people in Japan who are pretty much wearing blackface or kind of doing this thing because it's a revolt of their whole life. They were taught that beauty meant the lighter your skin was. And so, there's always going to be a backlash to that.
How did the Europeans ever sell that to the world? And this is what fucking bugs me about gay people. Now thinking, oh, I want the American dream to move to the suburbs and have a little place. And you're just like, why? That's just that white person dream.
Right.
Why do you always act like that's the best one?
Swell lawn.
But they also want to belong to PTA. They want to be dull as shit.
It's weird. I like that. That is the thing that has happened in the last decade where I think, there used to be this idea of you need to accept me because this is who I am. And now it's a desire to be heteronormative.
I never even heard of that term before. What?
Heteronormative. Normal.
Heteronormative is just to act like a weird suburban thing.
Yeah.
Right?
So like, saying, we want the ability to be, married.
Uptight.
And we want to be able to live the same life as you, as opposed to, hey, this is our type of marriage, or this is our type of lifestyle, or actually we're not even so into monogamy, or whatever it is.
Whatever happened to be, but come up with something better.
Right, exactly.
Than the old fucking tried and untrue that we've already had. That's what drives you crazy.
Yeah.
When do you guys read Colin Quinn's book? It is really a celebration of cultures in New York City. And it has got me, and he grew up with it, right?
Yeah.
So he saw, all right, because he was this Irish kid, which is different than being white, actually, when you're really like a city Irish kid. And then he was, Puerto Ricans and blacks, blah, blah, blah. And he's able to see the differences in the culture, but really celebrate them, right? And not in a cheesy way.
Right.
Like he'll come up with all these crazy things that Puerto Ricans do, and all these crazy things that black people do, and all these crazy things that the Russian Jews do, and how they're different, and how the other islands are different than Puerto Ricans. And it's really funny, and it's one of the reasons that you want to live in an urban area.
Right.
You don't want everybody acting the same.
And yet there's oftentimes a thing where we are rejecting the differences. Like, we're all the same. It's okay because we're all the same. Instead of, hey, isn't it fucking great that we're all really different and weird, and that we think that different stuff is normal.
Yeah, of course we do. I mean, because when you grow up with it, you're a lot more accepting than when you're just suddenly introduced to it. Like, I didn't grow up around any Mormon people, right? Mormon seems crazy to me.
Yeah.
Right? But that's just because I wasn't raised around it. If you are not raised around Catholic people, you're like, this is nuts.
Oh, yeah.
What they're doing.
Non-Catholic people love to talk about the first time that they had to go to a church, or the first time that they had to do like a full Catholic mass wedding. And they're like, it was so bizarre, and everyone was standing up and sitting down. They're talking about blood and shit. It seemed really weird. And
But here's the weird thing.
All
right, so the sacraments and all that, when you have the blood, and the flesh of Christ, right?
Yeah.
When it's backstage, it's just sitting in boxes. You know what I mean? Like no one can. It isn't the flesh of Christ until the priest
ceremony
blesses it. At that moment, it becomes that. But everyone isn't making it. like it'll be just sitting back in a box. It's a cracker like any other cracker.
Yeah.
We need more wafers.
So, like when you're not Catholic and you go there, you're like, oh my God, these people! I don't know whether they're going to pull me down into the cellar. But when you're a Catholic kid, you're like, boring. Shut up, boring. You know, you're not moved at all by it. It's just the same shit. Steve in Missouri. Steve.
Hey, Ronnie. The only point I had to make is that, yeah, you can say you're anything you want to say, but at the same time, there's a big structure of protected classes and protected people that allows us to give government money and jobs and preferred.
Well, yeah, we did bring that up. As long as she wasn't abusing that's when it would suddenly become really, I guess, a legal matter.
Right.
You know? And then, you know, there's another part of that is that white people are like, well, you don't get that if you're a white person, right? But that's only when you're not the right kind of white people. You know what I mean? Like Harvard white people have always looked out for other Harvard white people. You know, the white frats has always been about, you know, our kind of people. But, you know, when you're, the white people of a certain class really look out for white people.
Yeah, the networking. Is
Right.
what they like to fucking call it. When it's just keep everyone in the same club.
And they don't think, of course, Stanley is that kind of white person.
Oh, no, I'm
You're not
far
invited.
removed from that kind of whitey.
Yeah. That's a whitey you couldn't get in no matter what you did.
No,
you
it's
couldn't even
impossible.
marry into it.
They'd fucking assassinate me before letting me marry into that.
Eric in Indianapolis.
Hey, Ron, I wanted to thank you first for having Rashida Jones on a couple weeks ago. I actually studied with one of the producers on that documentary, and I think it's really important, so I really appreciate you doing that.
Well, what do you think of the documentary that they've done about young porn people in America?
Well, what I studied under with him was that there isn't a definite effect across the board. It said there's certain parts of this industry that if they were regulated would keep so many people safe that are now living in fear and living in danger and all the things that she talked about on your show, and that everyone's so scared no one's going to champion the porn industry. No mayor, no governor, no president is going to champion that.
Yeah.
So what it kind of showed was that it's not that porn's evil or porn's bad. It's that, look, if we took care of these people and treated them the right way, it's a form of entertainment and a major industry that could really not be as dark and destroying as it currently is.
Yeah, I think the last thing any of those people want is government intrusion, though. I can't even imagine any of them going, because they're really living, away from all of that.
An old lifestyle. I mean, it's true. It's a very old lifestyle, and it's just that it's just the fact that there's no protection. I mean, I get that they want to be off the grid and away from it, but the only laws that are passed, there still is government intrusion. There's still condom laws and things like that they think they're protecting people.
But see, that's the thing. That's the actual porn industry that existed for years. This is just kids shooting other kids.
Yeah.
This is all amateur stuff.
Yeah, it's amateur at best. There's no acting that's taking place. There's no okay, in this scene, you're going to come in and he's your boss. No, it's just let's shoot it quick. And these girls shoot 8 or 10 of these and then they're done.
Yeah. And also, in many cases, kind of confused and tricked into thinking that they're walking into something that is on par with something industry, like a film shoot. I'm walking in and it's just one dude with a tripod camera.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it doesn't lead to anything.
Yeah.
It's reality style pornography. It's the most popular. It's the easiest to shoot. It's the cheapest.
Yeah.
And these people, then they're going to be stars, and this is not how it works out. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe they don't want government intrusion, but they're doing it anyway. And it's based off a fear level because no one's willing to do the studies and champion the causes for them to say, hey, no, it doesn't turn people into maniacs. It doesn't turn people into rapists and problem people. It's a form of entertainment for a lot of people. I just think that the laws that are being passed aren't done on the right studies. But I'm happy you had her on, and I think it's a great documentary, and I was happy about it.
All right, that's cool, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
You had something else you wanted to add?
Oh, yeah. One of the girls I studied with in college, we all were in this little, class, and we all discussed what our topics were. And what she studied was the effects of black women's hairstyles on society. And it morphed over the course of a couple of years, and what it became was there's a fear level some white people have when there's what she used the term harsh hairstyles, hard hairstyles from black women, and that's why you see so many. I mean, that's why there is the straightening and getting rid of the harsh curls and the things that are.
This is stunning to me. I didn't know this. So
yeah, I mean,
they're trying to say that they, but they're saying that they're trying to look more European to be less frightening to European people.
Less harsh, just less harsh. That was
I never knew that.
Theme in her. So yeah, it was very interesting, and I mean, I parted ways with her. I don't know where it went or if it got published or anything like that, but she was studying it, and it was really interesting when she would do her updates that she kept finding correlations between hairstyle and fear, specifically fear. So,
all right, thank you so much. Let me ask you this: have the Europeans, the Anglo-Saxons, ever went anywhere in the world without attempting to take over that society, whatever it happened to have been?
No,
you know what I mean?
That's kind of their MO. It's just showing up.
Change it.
Organize everybody. Let's get it more like back at home. Let's make the trains run on time.
We like it at home, so we're going to make here like home.
It's really pretty interesting, and you never hear like, oh, those English people are the minority there. They're having a hard time, and there's like a slum that's just people from, Manchester living up there.
No, they're living the best.
The only place that white people can get poor is if they're living around other white people, and then it gets rough on them. Like there are like broke ass English people, but that's because there's other white people suppressing them.
Yeah, making all that money. Whereas those guys are on the dole or whatever.
Yeah, on the dole.
That's it, right?
That's the word. You are correct. Bob, chicken in the car won't go, Chicago.
Hello?
Great.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. Good, man. What's up?
Oh, well, I was commenting on something that was said a few minutes ago. Someone said something about privilege.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of a conversation that I had to have with my son that's 19 now, where, a lot of he went to a really diverse school. So a lot of the kids, accuse us, his parents, as looking for racism and all that other stuff. And that led me to believe that a lot of people that are lighter complected, they have a privilege that they don't even understand that they have. So, where I can walk down the street because I'm darker and, certain things I have to worry about, lighter complected people will never have to worry about it. Not in the climate of today because, we can have on the exact same clothes. We could wear them the same way. But depending on the situation, the lighter one will walk away. And I could end up handcuffed or in jail or shot or whatever.
Well, Spike Lee did that movie School Days that I always thought was an amazing film for this exact topic. But, it's really always tough for white people to understand until I always point this out. I've never went anywhere where I was in the minority without recognizing it immediately. You know what I mean? Like at any point that I was like, oh, there's more of a different culture than there are white people.
Yeah.
It happened like that for me. There was never a time where I went, hey, I didn't even notice. I was one of only 3 white guys on this block. I'm always aware.
And yet, it's hard for people to understand what it would be like to live your entire life like that.
Yeah.
I think that goes with any privilege is if you have it, it's going to be hard to understand what the world is like without it.
Sure.
Because you've just been going on that. And, it happens with race, but with gender, so often you explain something to a man like, oh, did you know that women experience that? And it's not because they're assholes. They're just like, why would I know that? I would never know that.
All right. When we get back, I'm going to show you something. All right. Have you ever had men say inappropriate things to you on the streets of New York?
Yes, on a daily basis.
Well, this is a flip of the script. Women treating men that way. We'll be right back. This is Bennington. Sweet deal, sweet dude. had to force Chris Stanley to give them to Joe and the crew because he feels that you're like a Reagan type dude.
He thinks that pizza will trickle down.
Yeah,
he is incorrect.
The only way. When I go, did you feed the guys? He goes like this. Not yet. Now, why? Why would these humans not get to eat at the same time as the other humans?
They were good. They're eating eventually. But I mean, we're in break.
Only because I brought it up to you.
I mean, so it's warmer for them now. I guess it's bad when you really think about it.
Pizza doesn't get warmer; it cools off.
Well, I'm saying like it's warmer. They got it warmer because you mentioned it, as opposed I would just probably give it to them cold.
Okay,
making me a bad person.
No, probably about it.
You're eating pizza, aren't you? You should be thanking Pit Talk.
Yes, we're all thanking Pit Talk because it showed up from Pit Talk, but you feel like they should not eat when the other people eat.
They're not less than.
But he feels as if, they can pick at the bones of this when they're done. Delicious.
It's very good.
Tasty. I like the way it tastes when you're eating it.
It's the artichokes on top of it make it taste good.
But actually, you want to eat that pizza steaming hot.
Yeah.
Every moment it's not. It's a problem. Like they say, with certain foods, like that have to be eaten as fresh as possible. Sushi is like that.
Yeah,
you don't want takeout sushi.
No, that's not a good way to go. Like, do you want this leftover sushi that I had last night?
Do you want to have a sushi picnic in the hot sun later? It'll be great. I want to get to this thing that these folks did, but before we do that, I want to. Did you see this Connie tattoo that the girl showed off on Instagram?
No, I haven't.
It just looks like she needs a Brazilian wax. What does she name her?
Keisha Cole.
Now, is she a famous person?
I believe she's a recording artist. That's all I know about Keisha Cole.
Now, what's going on there? Because in my mind, it looks like, she's not doing maintenance because I can't see too well.
That's the tattoo.
She got a 5 o'clock shadow tattooed on her, vagina area is where we're talking about here. And there she is. Yeah, then there it is. Yeah, it looks like, she just hasn't shaved her vagina.
Yeah. I'm glad that you finally get around to saying area because it's fairly far from the vagina.
It's spread out. It's a spread out tattoo. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this like fake hair tattoo. That's just fucking weird.
I think it's a good move.
What?
Just full committal.
Whatever you do is a good mood. I accept
woman.
everybody now.
Please, everyone is accepted.
I'm going to accept that you have hair on your vagina.
Although you had a spy report about the young woman, the black on black woman.
What's that?
The woman who claimed that she was black and was not.
I do have a spy report.
All these things are never top of mind for you yet. You're still new enough. Like, what? What are you bringing up? That important thing that you told me during the break.
Yes, you're right. I did say that. I did get a spy report that the woman from the NAACP has just resigned. So she has now resigned.
As a black person or just?
As a leader of the NAACP.
I hate that she caved in. She should have put up the good fight.
Which would have been what?
Not caving and not resigning. Be like, look, everybody, accept me for what I am. And let me run the NAACP in Spokane.
Spokane.
How's it supposed to?
Down there is Spokane.
We never heard of that city before.
Is it Spokane? Is that it?
Getting closer.
Well, I say Spokane.
By the way, in a town like that, the Northwest, they're not even going to find another black person to
I know. Good
to represent.
Luck. Good luck.
Because she was doing a good job, right? Like there was no complaints about her.
She has some pretty big.
I have no idea what she did or didn't do. I don't keep up on that. All right, so you were saying that sometimes here in New York City, women can have things said to them.
Yeah.
Of a sexual nature. Well, there's a video up of this little Asian girl going around to men and saying stuff like, I want your dick and nice ass.
Okay.
And how would you say that they reacted to it, Gail, if you had to guess?
I would imagine just like completely stunned and confused. Like, I bet that they are so shocked that they don't say anything back.
They, to a person, loved it. They're like, ooh. They felt great about it. Now, I'm watching it, I'm like, I think that they put it out the wrong way. What they really needed to do was have gay guys saying those same things.
Of course, yeah.
To dudes to see how they would react.
That is always my favorite thing to explain to men. We're like, oh, well, you don't want somebody to say you're pretty? And I'm like, okay. What if now imagine a very, and not just any gay man, not like some, like, effeminate gay man, a large, bigger than you, tougher than you, muscly dude is following you down the street. Like, why won't you talk to me? Come on. Grabs your wrist. Come on, just let me talk to you. Now imagine how you would fucking feel then.
I'm already outraged that you even brought it out. No, I do not want you walking alone. This is funny how many men got a big kick out of it.
They're just like, yeah.
Go ahead and hit and see.
Nice ass. I want to fuck you. I love that cock. I want to destroy your dick. That's fine. I love your dick. I want that dick.
Look how happy all the men are.
They're just completely psyched.
Yeah, they're just loving it. There's another funny video up there, too. The one where the Full House, they went back and recreated the Full House using characters from Grand Theft Auto. Instead of, you got to do the one that's side by side. That's the one that's really funny. So that's up on the iBank today. Now, I've never played the game. You can make those people do that, right? Like,
yeah, somebody spent a lot of time reconstructing this.
It's really, really funny. It makes it almost seem like there's no difference in between the two forms of entertainment.
Right.
And they're relaunching the show. They might as well just use the Grand Theft Auto.
Isn't it funny how there's some shows that weren't necessarily good that last forever? Like the Brady Bunch, people are still bringing up to this day.
I remember watching Full House like all the time as a kid, and I have friends who just still watch the reruns. I mean, I don't
feel good about themselves.
They love it. Like it's like, oh man, Full House is on. I'm going to watch that. I'm like, I mean, I watched it when it was fucking on TV when we were children.
When I watched it as a kid, I even knew it wasn't good. I just was like, man, Full House is on. I'm going to watch this. But I wasn't thinking like,
this is great.
I get it. You know what? Let me get Dad. Bring him in here. He's really going to enjoy this. I was aware that I was like taking in some very lowbrow entertainment.
That is, but does it still have that warm place in your heart?
No, I could not sit through a Full House right now. Like if one is on, I might keep it on for a few minutes to laugh at like the uncomfortable awkwardness of those like ridiculous plots or whatever, but I would not sit down and watch it. It might be different for Saved by the Bell. I could see myself maybe like actually getting through like a good Saved by the Bell marathon. I think
whenever you see those people to this day, do you feel good about them? Like, you know,
like if I were to see a cast member from Saved by the Bell, yeah, I think that there's a part of my childhood that I would be like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Zach, what are you doing here?
Slater. I did feel bad that Dustin Diamond got that stabbing charge, and then Lisa Turtle now apparently is married a fugitive on the run.
Yeah, she's a mess.
Now, Dustin Diamond, was he the one that used to do the diamond cutter on people?
Yeah, it was great.
DDP.
I don't know how those guys didn't hook up doing some gigs together.
Well, he's doing yoga.
Yeah.
That's what DDP's about now.
What show did you watch where the mom wouldn't feed all the children at the same time?
I never watched a show like that. I guess I just picked that up in adulthood.
You do it a lot. It is really uncomfortable for me.
Okay, I will fix that.
I said to them, I go, what, they got their pizza over there. And he's like, no. And I go, what are you talking about? I go, they're the ones who brought it in here. Yeah, it's for us.
He said, let them eat cake.
Let them eat dick.
You guys want a nice pie of dick?
If I found out there was cake over there, I'd go fucking crazy. You do the same thing where you just light up a joint in front of people?
I'll do that sometimes, yeah. Or just like hit the vape, because that's how I smoke now. Just hitting that Pax vaporizer.
You're only just doing the vapes now?
It's the best way to smoke weed. You can smoke it anywhere. Doesn't matter. Smoked it in restaurants. Smoked it in Modell's when I was buying fucking sweatpants. Smoked it.
Seriously, by the way, what you're doing is a person qualifying in a meeting. Like, we should all be just sitting around like, yeah, I know, brother.
Yes.
But you're here now. Smoked in a motel. Just the way you say it. There's no joy in it. Smoked in front of a cop. Smoked while buying fucking sweatpants like a lowlife. Smoked in a restaurant.
Gotta go to Moe's. What's wrong with that?
But it couldn't have been a long trip. You could have waited. How long was it going to take you to buy sweatpants?
I don't know.
You had to actually smoke inside of Modell's.
Well, he was waiting until they were fitted properly. He was there for the fit.
You guys have an on-site tailor? Good. So I had the vaporizer on me. I figured, all right, why not? Let me, get a little token.
I was at a place that had an on-site tailor like that. Mm-hmm. It was a really expensive store. And they said, do you want to see the on-site tailor? And I go, oh, that'd be great. It was fucking James Taylor.
What?
That's how expensive this store was.
Oh, my God.
James Taylor. He was just like, so he's like this, just yesterday morning. I'm like, shh. Just so, don't sing.
Sounds like a pretty classy.
Oh, it was a great place.
Classy.
Yeah, a pair of jeans cost $40.
What?
What's the Comedy Central thing about?
It's Comedy Central showing up their shows for Emmy nominations.
Oh, sweet. Oh. Sweet. Dave Moran says, hey, dudes, any chance of you guys telling me what the name of the song you played coming out of the last break? Thanks. # long time, first time. That was that Bennington song, right?
By John Muse.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of it?
Bennington. The name of the song is Bennington.
The girl, maybe it is just Bennington. It's either that or the girl from Bennington.
Isn't that the girl from Bennington?
It's Bennington. It's Bennington by John Mouse. That's how it's said on YouTube. John Mouse, Maus. Just for everyone looking to find it out there.
Mouse.
Mouse.
Mouse. Do mouse. Do.
Do house mesh. Pretty good song, right?
Yeah. It's a real good song you found, Kale. Congratulations for doing so good. That's why you get the pizza first before everyone else.
That's right.
Because you're in this room.
Just want the credit. Credit's due.
Good. You got it now. So that song, you're really liking it, huh? Seems like a lot of people are liking that song that we played earlier. Seems to be doing good. So glad I found it.
Is the credit here yet?
Anybody look over and find out if everyone likes that song? They do? Oh, good. God. Then I don't mind looking so much, as long as they're enjoying it. You know, it's always funny when somebody who cooked the meal is like, it's so good.
Yeah.
So tasty, right?
You like that, right?
This is delicious.
I hope everything's good. I noticed no one mentioned if it was good or bad.
That's when a person brings up how good the meal they cook. There's a word for that. It's called the father. So,
right.
Yeah. When a father fucking, grills, everyone has to sit around and talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
You like that steak? Yeah. I get it at the special place. And it's just a little salt and pepper. Look over at me. While you're eating, look at me while I'm talking. And I make sure the grill's really hot. And I bring it down for a sear. Did you hear the sear?
I heard it before.
Because Keep eating while I'm telling you this. It's delicious.
I'm trying to.
Did you cook this off heat?
That's the thing is, a man loves to talk about the food that he just prepared for you, but your mom never will.
Yeah.
Your mom's just like, here, I'm going to... Never ends, does it?
This is my third meal for preparing for you guys today.
Yeah.
So
So now, as soon as you're done, clear the table and do all the dishes in exhaustion. Okay? And then you ask me what's next we have as soon as I get the place cleaned up. So we dirty more dishes. It's my fault for wanting a family. I blame myself. If a man was like the stay-at-home dad, he'd be like this. Everybody eats once. That's it.
One large meal.
You eat in the kitchen, over the sink, while I'm spraying the hose at you.
Take turns. There's only one sink.
Chris put up something, and I don't want to start any trouble. And I don't want to call him Bagala. But you put up something called the most beautiful man on Instagram.
Yeah, that's what people are saying.
Are you the people?
No, I'm not saying that. But apparently this is like this dude's like the dude version of Jen Selter for the ladies.
dear God, who's she?
So where did you find this beautiful man?
I saw them talking about it on BuzzFeed.
Uh-huh.
And they seem to be over the moon. He has like 800,000 Instagram followers. So this guy's like, hot shit.
Are you one of them?
I know.
What is his job? Is he a male model?
He
or?
just works out and makes money off of Instagram.
It's a bizarre feeling because you have the manly beard and then the beautiful locks of a woman.
The beautiful locks of a woman and then the skin of a young lady.
For those women who want it all, he is perfect.
Let's see. Is there more pics? Or is it just that one? Oh, that looks worse.
Yeah, that's not as cute.
That guy's, I just have having some ice cream.
He put his hair up in a male bun.
Yeah. His name's Brock O'Hearn, which sounds like
That's
fake.
fucking hilarious.
Is the O with the last name or first name? Is he Brocco or is he Brocco?
Because O'Hearn doesn't go together.
It doesn't make sense to me. Hi, I'm Brocco. Brocco Hearn.
We should call this baby Brocco. It will be in perfect shape.
Forever. But yeah, so you.
Oh, there he is playing his sensitive guitar. Move back and let's hear some of the guitar because that's like a little mind thing.
Okay.
Oh, God.
You can tear, man. You can shred.
Oh, God.
He did just fine. I think he did great.
Put the guitar
He's so
down,
talented.
dum-dum.
He's so talented.
Brocco.
Now, shh, don't say another word.
Just let me mount you while you shut up. That's it. Give me your seed. Just tap me on the thigh after you come into me, and I'll be out of your way. All right, play it from the beginning so I can.
Okay.
I'm going to try to write some lyrics for it.
It's about to start.
All right. Brocco is here. Brocco. Got it. All right, what else does he do?
All right, let's see. There he's hanging out.
Oh,
by
there he is in front of his plane.
Mm-hmm.
We supposed to believe that that's Brocco's plane.
Oh no, Brocco can't afford a plane just
that
yet.
thing would hit a fucking mountain so quick.
He just hangs out with people with planes.
All right, there is. Oh, that's disgusting. There are. That was his head was severed.
See, now
and
that
put in a
man
jar.
bun I'm okay with. That's all right.
That
I like
man
this
bun?
one. Yeah.
What about that look?
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
What's he having there? Coffee?
Toothbrush. He's just brushing his teeth.
With the bun up.
God, he's so cute. I love the way he does that. He's so funny. Who the fuck is that?
That's his wife / mom.
I hate her.
It's
Evil.
always
He surfs.
shocking to men to find out what another. Because to me, he looks like Randy Macho Man Savage.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to be happy with Brocco, then I've got a great wrestler for you that you'll love forever.
Yes.
But men will totally recognize a cute guy with a girl face. You know?
Right, yeah.
Like men will always be able to go, Yeah, Johnny Depp is attractive.
Yeah, he's hot, dude, right?
Yeah.
If I had to, I'd be with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, but no one ever, you have to be told that Mighty Mike or whatever his name is attractive, the Channing Tatum. Someone has to point that out to you when you're a guy.
Like, what? He looks so big.
That idiot? He looks like somebody who should be... Mary wants to talk to us about Bracco. This is funny, too, that Chris brought this to us and not Gail.
I was just confused. Just a guy with long hair.
Look at
You're
that
not
Bracco.
confused. You're confused because you're sitting there with wood.
Why am I so hard?
Mary, go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to talk about Brock. Me
Yeah.
and my friends found out about him about a month ago, and we're totally in love with him.
God damn it, why wouldn't you call me a month ago? I could have been out ahead of this thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. When you find out anything is working, call me.
Okay.
Now, what is it that you love about Bracco?
Oh, my God. Everything. His man bun, his
Man buns.
face, his chest, everything.
Now,
I'll give you this. He is majestic as hell.
well, he looks like he walked off a romance novel
Yes.
cover. You know?
It's like a modern day Fabio.
Why are you
What
screaming?
pictures were he playing down?
Dude, your excitement level has got to come down. You're making me so uncomfortable.
Really?
Mary is on your side.
Yeah,
you don't
talking
need to be
about Bracco.
screaming.
You need to put a little bass in your voice.
Look how smart he looks, too.
Now,
His eyes are absolutely gorgeous.
what does Bracco do for a living?
He is a trainer, like a weightlifter trainer dude.
Okay, so he trains other men to look like him.
I like that.
And he lives in L.A. He's 6'7" and like 2 something.
That's not a little big for you, 6'7"?
7?
Gigantic.
All right, that's too much.
He's amazing.
6'7" is really pushing it.
And with his job, he's making almost $14 an hour training people.
He likes to have fun.
How about
That's
this,
what I
Bracco? You put on a fucking shirt every once in a while.
like. No need to.
There's not one picture that he's wearing a shirt for, no matter what the occasion. He's indoors a lot of times.
I like that he's also clearly playing into every female fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes he's in a cowboy hat, and
Right.
sometimes he's at the
Oh.
gym. Look at that Ken doll crotch.
Yeah.
What's not to love? I guess the giant height is really part
Right,
of
there's
it.
one that he's just sitting on the toilet dropping heat.
Beautiful.
Just gritting hard. Urgh. Bracco.
Oh, he's a kitten. He's gentle.
Smart
He's a
Bracco.
gentle
Now,
beast.
does a man bun mean that there's a curve to the ass, a Jen Selter type curve? Is that what we mean by man bun?
I think no, she's referring to the long hair up on the top of the head.
Oh, I thought we were talking about his ass.
No,
No.
the sexy ladylike hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens once he's drafted and forced into the Marine Corps.
No, we love you, Bracco. Oh, yes, we do.
There he is, just in for riding.
Badass.
Yeah.
He has highlights, I think.
If you want to find the man that Chris Stanley has brought back to us all, it's up on the iBang under. It's not Keisha and her vagina tattoo.
No.
It's Bracco.
He's just the most beautiful man on Instagram.
Why would you write that? Why would you fucking write that, dude?
I just want people to know what they're getting into when they fucking click on the headline.
Is he your type?
I don't have a type of dude. I
But
told you, if I had to
but-
go down, it'd be Jack White.
Yeah, but could you see
If I
yourself?
had to go down on someone?
If it had to go down, a gay act.
He
If it
said
had to
if
go
you
down.
had to go down.
No, if I
it
said
would be
if-
on Jack White.
If it had to go down. If it had. Like the act of gay love itself.
But could you see yourself with Bracco?
No, Rocco's just fucking... No.
Chris, I see you kind of like a power bottom. That's what I imagine.
I don't know how to take
positions.
that. Don't know. It's terrible.
I would just say this. Any man that wants to be with Chris to power bottom him, better fucking make sure he cleans up first.
Oh, God.
Be there while he's showering.
No.
And make sure everything is taken care of.
This is uncomfortable.
Because if not, you're going to be in a world of stank. What is it, Chris?
I just want to talk to you about Tito's vodka.
Go ahead.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka, and in 1995, Tito Beverage had the idea of building his own micro distillery.
Let me just say this.
Yeah.
Tito Beverage leaves Bracco, the man bun, behind in a heartbeat. If you had to be thinking of a man, and a man's man, that's a guy on his own who could create a still to make vodka far away from where people make vodka. He did this in Austin, Texas. That's the kind of man that men want to be and women want to be with. And then some people want to be with and with in at the same time. We don't judge. It's the 90s right now. It's hammer time.
And since he created his vodka, he's been awarded a 95 rating by wine enthusiasts, won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others.
He's also gotten a presidential patch for fitness, where he was able to long jump, run, and then hold on to the monkey bars for 15 minutes, while most of the other kids dropped off. How did he do it? 4 cents. That's how.
It's got a modest paper label on a simple bottle. So all you pay for it's
good because I'm not paying for expensive bottles.
No, you're paying for exceptional handmade vodka inside that bottle.
Somebody tried to give me a bottle of vodka. The thing, it was done up like an Oscar, right?
Okay,
but it was a vodka bottle.
Yeah.
It was done with an Oscar. I just took it and I go like this. I'd like to thank the Academy, and I just smashed it. And then everybody was like, "What are you doing?" And I just took the broken bottle. Just started putting it around the room. I go, anybody want a piece of this? Because I'll sink it in long and deep.
Tito still makes his vodka by hand in the same land where he started it all, in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Tito's-
I'd rather have it made by hand. I don't want anything made by robots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not living in a world, where sci-fi is normal.
Tito's handmade vodka is distilled 6 times from 100% corn. And is
6 times?
Six.
Amazing.
And it's naturally gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipe songs and more. 40% alcohol by volume, handcrafted to be savored responsibly.
Chris, what are recipe songs?
That should be recipes, songs and more.
But you always say recipes, songs, and more.
I'm going to work on that pluralizing of recipe.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
What?
You better. I'll send Bracco in here.
Oh, we're back to Bracco
Wow,
again. Man,
non-stop rock.
Wait, there's another way we can click on that he's going to be. Maybe we'll get to hear him talk.
All right, cool. All right.
Don't ruin this for me, please.
I think it's time.
All right, hold on. He just has a surfboard.
It's time.
And he's standing next to another man on a surfboard. And then he just says,
I think it's time.
Why isn't he in the Point Break remake?
Oh,
let's
man.
see one picture of him up on a wave. And not just carrying around a longboard. He's as much as a surfer as he is a cowboy. I'd bring him in here to do the show, but I don't want fucking Chris just to put his legs up.
That would not happen. I just posed a question to the internet. Is this the most beautiful man on Instagram?
You're a sick fuck.
There's more videos of Bracco.
Don just texted me.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get rid of this stuff when Fez left.
What stuff?
Not while Stanley's still around.
No. Why Stanley's steaming?
The old Stanley steam.
This is what Bracco wrote under one of his pictures. It just says this: 1 a.m. advice. Work hard, grow a beard. That is all.
Yes.
He's trying to be the most interesting man in the world. That's
He
what he's
is.
doing.
I think
Wait,
it's
we
so
got another one over
interesting.
there.
Yeah, here he is. Looks like he's on a trail of some sort.
It's been a good day. We had to hit the beach really quick. So many steps.
Oh my God, he's fucking up by talking. Same as you started the show. This is what we said about the women at the start of the show.
It's come full circle.
Yeah.
Oh, here he is fighting.
Who
I
was
like
the-
that.
Who was it that we started off the show?
Kate Upton.
This is
Yeah.
from the Kate Upton interview. Kate Upton, I understand you're going to be on the cover of the next Sports Illustrated. Is there anything that you want to do in film? You want me to change you? That was our time with Kate Upton. You don't even want to read some of these things, Chris.
That bad?
No.
I don't feel comfortable now.
You've lost any respect from co-workers of the corporate entity.
Wow.
Known as Sirius XM.
Well, you came on here and said that you were...
Oh, he came on here?
Yeah, he did.
No, I did not.
First he came on
orgasms.
Here. And then you said you'd power bottom for Bravo.
No, I didn't.
I heard you say it.
I never said that.
Who said it then?
You did.
I don't think so.
Good comeback. You did. You should be a lawyer.
Got me.
Oh, I love it.
Your Honor, they say my client murdered that woman. They murdered that woman. They said it. They did it. So, should we just leave now, or do we need the jury to talk about it? Because I'm starting to freak a little bit. I didn't know I was even had court today.
Didn't have pants on.
All right, we're gonna wrap this shit up. Fun show today, though. Today was Stanley's birthday, so happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much.
You had a great one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my birthday. That's my pit duck. Dropped that pizza off.
49 years old.
Wow.
Today.
Yeah. I'm getting up to that 5-0.
Oh, man, we got to do it big next year.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Let's just do everything in black and be like, rest in peace, Chris.
Yeah, that's funny.
Fissy.
No.
Walker, you come in on.
Over the hill.
We have a tombstone, have some fun with this whole fucking thing. Spit in death's face.
Get some formaldehyde.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke it.
Like Chris always says, spit jizz back in death's face.
Why would I be sucking off?
You tell me, Stanley.
Maybe if I suck it off, he won't kill me.
Oh, no, just stop.
Oh.
Come on.
All right.
You're filthy.
Sorry.
All right. So that's it. For us, nothing to plug for tonight, right? If you were up for the Unmasked, it looks like we're going to have to reschedule with the Gaffigans. We'll do our best to make that happen. But you can see me and Lisa Lampanelli together 1 week from today?
1 week from today.
Wow.
At the 92nd Street Y, go to 92y.org for tickets. It's happening Monday, June 22nd at 8:15 p.m.
Exciting. So, see about all you folks back here in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!